Are we though? McKenna, Biddy. Oh man. Hold on, I gotta set my secondary. There we go. Now I just need to set my phone right. Top messages. There we go. Get that the fuck out of here. Fucking top message shit. I hate it. I hate it here. Yo, it wasn't even a bad thunderstorm last night, and our lights was flickering. Yeah, yo, like, yo, listen, we got thunder, but even with that, it's not like it was like super bad. You know what I mean? Like, we just got it's a weak infrastructure. Yo, I'm gonna need the United States. I'm gonna need the United States to really. I mean, I know you busy crashing out. Listen, listen. If I may have your attention, yeah, yeah. So this in retrospect, this whole thing that they got going on over there with this parade and everything, fucking up the streets. It might need might need it. You know what I'm saying? We might need that shit. I'm just listen. This shit is whack, man. Like you've been around here before, right? You've seen my block, and you've seen right in front of my house. Yeah, all of the wires are above ground and hanging and looking crazy as shit, entangled up in the trees and all that other goofy ass shit, right? This is because this is infrastructure from a previous fucking century, right? That's what the fuck it is, right? And it's still here, and they haven't done anything about it. And what really makes me notice how old, dilapidated, and uncared about it is after going down Panama and seeing areas where they literally had the fiber optic cables and all that other stuff underground, so that when storms come, they don't have hurricanes because they're in that particular part of the equator, but they do still have storms. When storms and shit comes around, they don't have the exact same issues of, oh shit, the tree came down and now our wires is down, so we're down for a week. They don't have that shit. But supposedly, in the greatest country in the world, supposedly, shit we love to brag about. What's up, Wolf? Supposedly, right? Everybody love to brag. Oh, we the last superpower. Y'all need to miss me with that. But all right, y'all can't seem to fix your infrastructure. Like SBJ said, we're not gonna get we're not gonna get an infrastructure bill that matters. Yeah, it's gonna require those tanks to crack the streets up down in DC. So, and even then, they might, just only repair those. Right, right, right. Yes, yes. G8. Yeah, everything, bro. I mean, are we bugging? Are we bugging to think that is what infrastructure is? Maybe we have a misunderstanding of it, and they look at us like we crazy when we
No,
say
it's
that.
not my fault. I mean, it's not our fault. It is. It's everywhere else understands.
Huh?
So it's not us.
Hey, yo, they saying that your volume is low.
It wasn't low. It was muted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's not us. Everywhere else understands.
Yeah, but it's the same with healthcare. Every other developed nation understands that healthcare is a human right, except for this one.
Absolutely.
He's the only one that don't understand that shit. I don't know, bro. Like I said, man, I feel like the fact that those things weren't tended to, aren't considered to be important by the people that's supposed to be actually looking into that shit,
That part.
was a red flag and a telltale sign of where we are right now.
Nigga.
Listen, if you know you're moving, right, and something messes up in the house, but it's not immediately affecting you, but you know that it'll eventually do that, but you're moving in 6 months. You're moving and whatever. So you're like, I'm not gonna, I don't give a fuck. It ain't bothering us now. I don't give a fuck. Then you won't do anything about it. It makes me think wealthy people are thinking that way too. Like, this place is going this place is going to crack in the middle, right?
Thanks.
And we're gonna be long gone when that happens. We're gonna leave all you stooges that ran around here and thought that politics was sports.
Right.
Y'all thought it was sports. I'm rooting for my team. Yeah, well, guess who your team should have been? The people.
Yeah.
And the fact that I managed to say that without putting my eyebrow up, y'all should be applauded.
All right. Okay. That's not. That's not to say we did.
I'm just saying.
How about that?
Look, McKenna said, I feel you. That's why I moved to Bogota. Listen, I did want to, I know we got our planned shit today, but now that McKenna said, I did want to ask how she liking it down there.
Oh, of course.
Definitely want to ask that because I went and looked at some videos. It's beautiful down there. It's up in the mountains area, right? So it's not near no beach, but the beach is like an hour away by plane, and it costs like $70
right.
to get on the plane and go to the beach. It's an hour ride. You know what I'm saying? You go on the plane, go down to the beach, hang out there for the day, get back on another plane and come back to fuck home.
Right.
Like, it's amazing. You know? It's amazing. But Ryan says, I'm for real about embarking to Denmark. Supposedly the safest place in the world to live. Hey, look,
I've heard that for a long time.
I have too. You better do that before they close the doors.
Right.
You better do it before because that's the one thing I'm thinking about. The fact that with America deciding to give up on soft power, the thing that subtly pushes people to want to give us certain advantages. One, oh yeah, because they be doing this type of shit and they be helping us with this. With America giving up on that,
yeah,
and filling the vacuum is going to be China. They might get all those benefits after a while, and not Americans. So, and believe me, China is eagerly filling in the blanks. Oh, they stopped. We told you they wasn't stable, but don't worry, we got you. We got you. So yeah, you might want to do that. You might want to do that soon before they decide to say, we don't want Americans here the same way this country has done to other people. We don't want you here. Don't come here. Did you? Before we get into some other shit, did you hear about the South Africans they brought over here? Are not they're not loving it.
Oh,
they're not. Listen, they thought when they was gonna come over here, they was gonna get all kinds of shit, healthcare shit. All this, and to be fair, we thought the same thing because bringing them over here to wait on some bullshit, right?
Right.
No. Now you're getting a taste of what it's like to be American.
Yep.
You're on your own,
bruh. That's hilarious.
Right. Oh, Ryan, I've seen them cars. I've seen China's cars. Listen, bro. They keep playing with China, right? Acting like it's not an advanced civilization now. It 100% is. Whatever people thought about what China was 50 years ago, 60, 70 years ago, that is not China today. I literally just looked at a video on Wuhan. My God, man. It's Asian Wakanda. Like, whatever they thought. I know you watch them old fucking martial arts flicks, and this guy China looking all medieval and shit like, no, nigga, no.
Right.
It be the future. They're already in the future. We're the ones in the past. They're already 30 or 40 years in the future right now. But we keep hanging on to this. But we're the last symbol. All right. Okay. Whatever. But GA said they thought the streets were paved in gold and found out it was bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I know what they thought. They about to give us the world. They're about to come over here and they're gonna set us up like they did with a lot of early settlers and shit. Like, no. We gonna get a version of the Homestead Act.
Yikes.
No. No. They brought you. They used you. They used you for a political op. Brought you over here and told you to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Figure it out.
Crazy.
Better go get a job.
That part.
You better go get a motherfucking job.
Thanks.
And this will make it even worse. Where you was at, there was a lot of places over there where y'all still had black people fucking cleaning your house, and taking care of your gardens and all that other shit. That's not here. And because black people know where you from, let's just say you're not gonna get that same response from us, right?
That part.
You better figure that shit out, because rent is due on the 1st. And don't get into no fight with no neighbors, because you don't got no health care here, motherfucker. We don't have it. Fuck you. What you think?
That part.
What? It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, I digress.
Mm.
I see I see the title.
I mean,
listen. We stay telling the motherfucker nah, but that's because they be saying nah worthy shit,
nigga. So we gotta talk about Wale. There's been a lot of things going on this week, right?
Yeah, a lot of shit.
So I had a plethora of options to choose from as far as what the main topic would be of today's show. Mm-hmm. But the shit I saw with Wale that went on this week. Mm. So, first let me shoot him some bail.
Hold up. Shooting him bail. You sure you want to shoot him some bail?
Yeah, I need to.
He looks like a runner. He looks like
what I'm about to listen. What I'm about to do, I need to shoot him some bail first.
Got you.
So let me see if I can show you this picture. Not that one, obviously. I think it's this. So, first off, this is the picture, the main picture of Wale that is on his Wikipedia page. Now, the bail that I'm shooting him is Wale absolutely gets a lot of disrespect. So, why, pray tell, did somebody choose the most grainiest? And that's not like people watching in on the stream. That's not an effective compression or anything. It looks the exact same way on my screen. It looks the exact same way on my screen, on my monitor. Like it looks exactly like that. Why the fuck would somebody put this as the main photo on his goddamn Wikipedia page? I only say that to say it is absolutely valid that Wale has a certain level of disrespect that has been thrown his way throughout the years. Absolutely. That's valid. That is 100% true.
And we about to give him some more, right?
Well, listen. So, for those who don't know who Wale is, let me give a That's why I was on his Wikipedia in the first place, because I was going to give a quick introduction of the guy.
Exactly, GA. Exactly. All these motherfuckers.
So, I can't pronounce his name. I'm not
Wale.
going to.
It's Wale.
No, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his name because I think he's Nigerian. I can't remember exactly, and I don't know if it's in this because I didn't read it yet.
It's probably pronounced exactly the way it's spelled.
Yeah, see, I hear you, but the thing about that is, I'm not going to
butcher his name.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that publicly. If it was real life and I had to say his name for a reason, I would try to say it and
have him correct you or somebody correct you. Right.
That part. Right. But no, it's a lot. There's a lot of letters here. So I'm not going to do that. But
Quintuple? No.
Known professionally as Wale, is an American rapper. He first became known for his 2006 song "Dig Dug Shake It," which became popular in his hometown of Germantown, Maryland, and led Wale to gain further local recognition as he amassed a number of follow-up releases. He signed a record.
I did not know. I was today years old when I found out this nigga was from Germantown, Maryland. I was actually today year old when I just realized there were black people in Germantown, Maryland.
Wait, where did you thought he was from?
I don't know. DC.
He spoke about that recently, actually. What up, Honey Dragon? He actually spoke about that, and he had a very good point. He was saying that a lot of artists from the area always just get billed as if they're from DC.
No, that's facts.
And they don't actually get their actual hometowns.
Just ask Tay-Rock. Tay-Rock get tossed with the Baltimore shit all the time.
Taraji. There's a bunch of people that's just from the area, but that might not necessarily be from DC.
What's the name? Comedian. Whatever.
Which one? Nigga, that's not helpful.
Oh my goodness, that's facts. Dave Chappelle.
Okay,
they always say DC, a nigga from Silver Spring.
Right. And that's a whole thing. So
which is nice as fuck, by the way. Don't let that nigga tell you he's from the hood.
I mean, I'm sure there's a hood in Silver Spring.
Somewhere. It's probably like a 3-block radius.
Maybe, nigga. I don't know. I ain't going to, whatever. Led Wale to gain further local recognition as he amassed a number of follow-up releases. He signed a recording contract with English DJ producer Mark Ronson's Alito Records in 2007, which after a 3-label bidding war entered a joint venture with Interscope Records for $1.3 million the following year. During his time, Wale's mixtapes and singles saw national attention as he appeared on MTV and various Black American-focused magazines. Wale's debut studio album, Attention Deficit, was undershipped and thus underperformed commercially. Another piece of disrespect, right? Because that's not fair to him. Like, y'all didn't put out enough copies for people to sell. So all his shit sold out, but the sales were low because y'all didn't do what y'all was supposed to do. Undershipped and thus underperformed commercially, but saw positive critical reception and spawned his first Billboard Hot 100 entry with his lead single "Chillin'," featuring Lady Gaga. He continued gaining mainstream recognition with his guest appearances, specifically alongside Roscoe Dash on Waka Flocka fame's 2010 single "No Hands," which peaked at number 13 on the chart and received diamond certification by the RIAA. He then signed with Florida-based rapper Rick Ross's Maybach Music, an imprint of Warner Records, the following year to release his second album, Ambition. Supported by the Grammy Award-nominated Top 40 single Lotus Flower Bomb featuring Miguel. The album saw further critical and commercial success and peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200. His third and fourth albums, The Gifted and the album About Nothing, both debuted atop the chart, and the former was led by the single Bad featuring Tara Thomas or Rihanna, which peaked at number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100 and remains his highest charted entry as a lead artist. Wale then shifted for lighter, commercially oriented subject matter and wider female appeal for his following albums, Shine, Wow That's Crazy, and I have no idea.
You wouldn't say his name.
Yeah, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that one either.
Yo,
of
GA
which
said, "You mean Miguel featuring Wale?"
no, nigga. Of which sparked the Billboard Hot 100 charting singles "My PYT," "On Chili" featuring Jeremiah, and "Poke It Out" featuring J. Cole, respectively. It marked his final album with Maybach Music Group, and he signed with Def Jam the following year. All right, that's all. I'm not reading this
What's up,
nigga whole life.
So
What up?
biology.
So next up, let's talk about what just happened.
What just happened?
God damn it!
I'm curious.
I'm trying to figure out which article I should go into. I'm gonna do this one. So, Wale, I'm gonna get into the history after I do this story. But Wale has a history of, how did I put it? Because what words did I use? He has a history of being sensitive and insecure. It just is what it is. And like I said, I'm going to get into the history after I talk about what just happened. But just keep that in mind. Shut up. Just keep that in mind, and then I'll go back to the proof of the whole thing. So Kai Cenat found himself at the center of viral buzz following an awkward encounter at the 2025 BET Awards when he seemingly failed to recognize Wale. Cenat was live streaming.
Oh yeah.
Cenat was live streaming from the Peacock Theater when he crossed paths with the on-show artist in a parking garage. Wale was casually gaming on a Nintendo Switch when he walked by, and Cenat greeted him and asked what he was playing. The rapper continued on without much exchange, and Kai admitted to his audience that he had no idea who he was talking to. So let me set this up. So they're walking in a parking garage. Wale is walking this way. Kai is walking this way. Mm-hmm. Kai notices the switch in Wale's hand.
Because the core of Kai's shit started off as gamer type stuff. So
Kai notices the switch. When they get like close to each other, they dap each other up. He asks Wale what he's playing. He gets in the car.
He said he called him Wally.
Yes, he did. That's what happened next. He got into the car, and Kai was streaming. So he says, "That's cool, blah 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 blah. I don't really be on the Switch like that, but such this game." And then he looks at the chat, and he's like, "Oh, that was somebody." And he's like, Wale? Oh, so yeah, apparently y'all know Wale. All right, cool. Right? So that was the end of that part of it.
Okay.
All right. So, the article goes on to explain some of that in different words. Viewers quickly filled in the blanks, alerting Cenat that he had just interacted with Wale. The streamer then mispronounced the rapper's name as Wale, prompting laughter from his crew and corrections from his associates. Even after being told Wale is the artist behind hits like Lotus Flower Bomb, Cenat still drew a blank. The clip quickly went viral, and Wale later approached Cenat while he was trying to interview Snoop Dogg. So,
are you serious?
I promise you. So, in the video, Kai is sitting next to Uncle Snoop Tom, and Wale walks up to Kai. Now, no, I was about to try to shoot him, Bill, but there's no way you could not have known that was being recorded. So, yeah, Wale walks up to Kai and says the words, "That shit making me look crazy now, just so you know. They running with it, but we'll talk later." So that happened. Once the second clip went viral, people on social media were split in their reactions. Wale himself left a comment under the Shade Room's repost of the awkward moment, claiming he didn't know the cameras were rolling both times and didn't understand why Cenat didn't recognize him because they'd met in the past. Wale, sensitive ass, commented on the Shade Room post, "This is crazy. I didn't know we was being filmed both times. We played in a celebrity football game last year. I was really confused." And then he went on to post a photo of him on the football field at the celebrity football flag football game. He's basically next to Kai. So he has, it's just like I started off earlier.
Right.
He has a point, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not that it's completely unfounded.
That's true.
It's just that, bro, you're not handling this correctly.
And that's because you're Wale. And this is
like, absolutely, these niggas have met before. Like, that's not a question.
Yo, GA said, nigga was adjacent to you one time. Relax, D.
Nigga, listen, I would feel that way if Wale was like, yeah, I know Kai, blah, blah, blah. We hung out, we cool.
Right.
Then I would go with that. But no, the nigga ain't saying
maybe Kai Cenat has met so many people over the last year.
Listen,
maybe
that's absolutely
that interaction
possible.
Wasn't all that impactful to him.
Absolutely possible. 1,000. That's probably the truth. That's probably what it is. But that's a little wild, yo. Like we was standing next to you. We was on the same team. Like it's not. We was on the same goddamn team. It's not like I don't know. Whatever. So that's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. But Wale, like, what do you do anyway?
The way he's handling that. It seems like he's wearing all of the hurt from the disrespect.
Oh, we going
from the, he's wearing all of it on his sleeve. It's right there for motherfucker to see, right? And it's like, yo, your slip is showing. Your slip is showing.
No shit, GA. Just saying, no transparency. I really don't like Wale.
What the hell you say?
So now, for something Wale did right, he managed. I don't know if he had this deal already. He managed to flip that first situation where where Kai walked up to him and didn't know who he was. He managed to flip that into a Nintendo Switch commercial. So cool.
Okay. All right.
So moving on. Moving backwards actually. So this happened earlier this week. It was Monday. Wale was on the Joe Budden podcast.
Oh yeah, I saw clips. I didn't see the whole thing, just some clips.
Yeah. He was on the Joe Budden podcast, and he says, I was performing at the Soul Train Awards, and they tapped me to let me know I was about to win the award for a love-hate thing, but they announced that Kendrick Lamar was the winner instead. So, he was making this complaint, right?
Oh, he's complaining. Okay.
Yes. And then, Moni, cousin Moni from Chilling with Moni, she's a up-and-coming journalist, and she covers hip-hop mostly. Mm-hmm. And she said, nah, nigga, that's not what happened.
Oh.
Like, because Wale is painting it as the Soul Train Awards did him dirty.
Because they took it away from him
told
after he said he won it.
Right.
Right.
So I'm just going to read what she typed. Right. Because again, once she pressed him, he corrected isn't right. I'll just read it. Shout out to Wale for DMing me and letting me know he wasn't trying to start any mess. However, as an up-and-coming journalist with a degree, it really annoys me when platforms don't do their due diligence. Wale says
hold up, you said with a degree?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. I want everybody to take note of the fact that she's an actual journalist.
Yeah. An actual journalist. Yes. Yeah. It really annoys me when platforms don't do their due diligence. Wale says he performed at the 2013 Soul Train Awards. He did. And then they told him he was going to win an award for Love-Hate Thing, but they announced Kendrick as the winner. The truth is, neither him or Kendrick won. Robin Thicke won. Wale won the award for Bad. E40 and Mac Wilds announced him as the winner for Hip Hop Song of the Year. Wale ended up leaving, so they accepted the award for him. The confusion comes in because right after they cut to commercial, they showed a tape recording of Kendrick accepting his award for Album of the Year. No one was cheated. No one lied. Video proof attached, and she shows the video, and she throws a shot at Joe Budden. Do better research.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, that's not what. That's not what happened.
So basically, this nigga been wearing this on his chest. This lie.
Yeah,
on
from
his
2013.
Jeez.
Well, not lie. I can understand him being confused. I don't think he was lying about it. I think he really believes that's what happened. So basically, to explain it for everybody that didn't quite catch it. So he performed. When he performed, they told him he was winning. I'm assuming the words that they used are your win is coming up next, or something to those wording.
Mm-hmm.
The next award that was actually awarded ended up being Robin Thicke, but the next one that showed on TV was Kendrick, but for a different category. So when Wale saw that, he thought he was supposed to be winning for Album of the Year, but that's not what happened. That's actually not what happened.
So he was confused.
Yeah.
He's been wearing that confusion on his heart all these years,
nigga,
and thinking he was slighted. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine believing you were slighted and you weren't? And now in 2025, the truth and facts are being revealed that you in fact was not slighted in any way. And now you have to recalibrate the last few years that this has been part of your narrative, right?
Right.
Now the question is he man enough to publicly state that he was wrong? Because there's no telling how many people he told this story to, right? Or is the cognitive dissonance going to be so heavy, so just overbearing, that he's going to try to push back?
I mean, his history says,
right.
Speaking of his history, let's just go into it. Wale's complex of validation, a chronology of public insecurity. That's wild, right? That's a wild title.
It is, but it's not
wrong.
Very descriptive, bro. It's like
2013, complex year-end list incident. In December 2013, Wale erupted in anger when his album, The Gifted, a #1 Billboard hit, was omitted from Complex's year-end 50 best albums list. He phoned Complex editor Insanul Ahmed and unleashed
Apocalypse?
No.
Oh.
And unleashed a
that's
furious...
That's in Salvador.
Yes, no. Unleashed a furious tirade, shouting that the snub had to be personal and calling the omission like a bold-faced lie. He even ranted, "You mean to tell me Juicy J got on the list?"
Don't do that, bro.
Complex later posted the expletive-laced recording of Wale's call, and media reaction was swift. The LA Times called Wale's meltdown hilarious, of course, but also rather sad, noting his petulant sense of entitlement. In demanding inclusion on one magazine's list, Wale later mockingly poked fun at himself in an Instagram video. This episode cemented his reputation for easily taking offense when critics or tastemakers omit him.
GA,
that's just the first one.
100%. 100%.
That's just the one. That's just the first one. Okay, 2014. MMG frictions begin. In 2014, Wale's sensitivity resurfaced in internal...
No! You can't start... Listen. Yo, you can't start a paragraph on that man's name.
No! You know what's about to be funny?
His sensitivity resurfaced.
It's about to be funny when I tell you where I got this from. But... Wale's sensitivity resurfaced in internal label dynamics. When Meek Mill, his Maybach Music label mate, released Dreams Worth More Than Money, Meek publicly accused Wale of jealousy and of not promoting the album. On Twitter, Meek claimed, Wale just ain't going to tweet a thing about my album. He's been hating on me a long time now. Don't even text me, cornball. Wale responded, not by attacking Meek, but with a revealing Instagram statement. He explained he doesn't fit in the mold of a hard-edged rapper and delights in geeky things.
I remember this.
Crucially, he wrote, I write poems. I watch WWE. I collect kicks. I'm sensitive, okay? Maybe bipolar. But one thing I'm not is a hater. I'm me, and I'll be me. This post acknowledged his own sensitivity and nonconformity, even as he defended himself against Meek's jabs.
Yo, why so WWF?
To just prove that he's a geek. That's the point he was trying to make.
Oh, okay.
So the other thing that spawned from that was the Drake and Meek Mill feud spawned from this that shit too. GA says the ego's so crazy he thought J. Cole's False Prophets verse. J. Cole's False Prophets verse is about him. J. Cole has talked about this. GA. Yes.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because there was so during the Drake and Kendrick feud, after the whole J. Cole jumping in, Pop shit apologized, nigga, just ask Kiss. After that, I was working on a video about Cole and that False Prophet song. It was basically the video was about how much Cole will say some shit about somebody or do some shit with somebody to somebody and then hide his hand afterwards. And Kanye and Wale are the two people in the False Prophet song that he does that with. So yeah, no, that verse absolutely was about Wale.
That's crazy.
Without question. 2015. The album About Nothing and Feeling Underrated. In early 2015, Wale released the album About Nothing, his fourth LP, with Jerry Seinfeld as a collaborator. Despite debuting at number 1, Wale publicly insisted he still felt underrated. The Washington Post reported that after topping the charts, the rapper has never felt less acclaimed. Up is still down, the top still feels like the bottom. The article noted that Wale has no filter and uses social media as a megaphone to amplify the fine print of his inner monologue, a megaphone that too often seems louder than his music. Indeed, Wale was quarrelsome on Twitter, always ready to tussle with any old body who's talking trash, the Post wrote. He often bared his anxieties with Seinfeld's help on the album. Seinfeld urged him to ignore the haters. Quote, let them talk. They don't believe half the shit they say. To which Wale wryly replied, I don't know, Jerry. Aren't I allowed to want to know why, though? An explicit moment of self-doubt captured in song. In interviews around this time, Wale maintained he deeply cares about respect. For example, he told Uproxx that people don't realize his early career accomplishments. We opened for Jay-Z, we opened for Rihanna, there was no Snapchat. He then declared, I've been doing legend shit, man. Despite feeling overlooked, media took note. Some critics mocked his vanity, but others, including comedian Brandon Wardell, eventually praised Wale as more introspective than whiny. Maybe. That depends on your perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
2017. Shine era and public scrutiny. Wale's 2017 album Shine was a critical flop, and he responded awkwardly in the public eye. Critics observed he chased radio hits at the expense of authenticity. Pop Dust noted that Shine's tracks like My Love felt like a desperate Hail Mary for mainstream relevance at a time when Wale felt like his star was waning. On televised interviews, Wale insisted that he hadn't lost the lyrical skill, but also gave tangential verses dissecting his work. One commentator summarized...
I'm laughing at GA. Legend shit.
I mean, listen, no. I'm not... That's not for me. That's not for me to... I mean, it could be, but I'm not gonna... One commentator summarized that by aggressively pursuing hits to regain status, Wale had invited even more scrutiny. His peers saw his over-explanation as insecurity. On the Joe Budden podcast, Budden remarked that Wale's constant emotional justifications make him seem corny, saying, anytime your reactions are perceived to be emotion-based, it's corny in hip-hop. And Wale has emotionally reacted to so much. Thanks. 2019. Insecurity Spotlight and Therapy. By 2019... By 2019, Wale himself acknowledged that much of his career had been about seeking approval. No shit, my guy. No shit. The Pop Dust profile Why is Wale so insecure? Yo!
Oh my! What are we doing?
Chronicled his history of overly emotional outbursts, citing the complex call, and noted his Achilles heel. He tries too hard to be liked. Even Joe Budden said Wale tries to be everybody's friend and reacts too strongly to critics. On social media, Wale hinted he needed help. He posted, "They told me to get help, so I did." When announcing his EP, "Wow, That's Crazy." This project was explicitly about his therapy journey. In a skit, Seinfeld again counseled him, "None of them haters have anything to do with you." To which Wale replied with genuine confusion, "Oh, same thing. Okay." The comment revealed that even while seeking to move forward, Wale still found it hard not to internalize every slight. The media and fans continued to label him sensitive or whiny, but Wale wove those insecurities into his music at least as much as he fought back against them. 2021. Legacy and being overlooked. As Wale approached his 15-year career mark, he openly fretted about being forgotten. In an Uproxx cover interview, he reiterated that many fans don't know his early achievements without social media documentation, highlighting the Jay-Z story and performances at the White House. He stressed that he's been doing, again, legend shit, performing at the State of the Union and arenas in the same day. But he admitted these feats made little splash on social timelines and bluntly said he does feel underappreciated. During promotion of his 2022 album, Wale said he was saying a lot of things with his chest on the new songs. Ugh. He noted that with age, he's become his own harshest critic. You're going to constantly become a bigger critic of yourself. A theme he said was clear on that album. Concurrently, he publicly reaffirmed his self-confidence, calling himself strongly one of the greatest rappers, and saying artists should, quote, give yourselves them flowers. This mix of bravado and doubt, I strongly believe that he's great, yet he keeps catalogs of his achievements. Like, defined Wale's sense. He insisted on his legacy even when lamenting that a lot of people don't know what he's done. 2022 through 2024, online spats and old feuds reignite. In recent years, Wale's sensitivity again bubbled up in social media spats. In late 2022, as the Falarin, I don't know how to pronounce that word, album dropped, a fan tweet suggested his Maybach Music feature had compromised his real talent. Wale snapped back on Twitter, "I'm going to let you have it. Golden under MMG. This take stinks, but you're entitled to your opinion." A random ass fan.
Yo, I mean, I understand he's on his rough Trez van shit.
Yikes.
You know, don't need a man that'll give you money and all that. But, like, that's too much.
Nigga.
That's not too much. I think that's too much.
It's too much. He defended his work with Rick Ross, insisting, "I wrote some of my best songs of my life with MMG." Fans laughed at his intensity, with outlets calling the exchange hilarious and noting he tells a fan his take stinks.
This take stinks.
The long simmering feud with Meek Mill erupted again in 2024. On April 8th, Meek angrily tweeted that Wale never liked him and that Wale was a cornball. After Wale shared photos with their mutual friend, Wale replied obliquely on X, "When you get in other people's unserious drama, 90% of the time they be back friends. So I love minding my business. If a photo can create such vitriol, one has to ask himself some questions." He refused to name Meek, instead suggesting the feud was petty and that he chose to ignore it. Meek countered immediately, accusing Wale of deep-seated jealousy. "He's always been jealous of me," and claiming Wale killed all his relationships by linking with Meek haters. Media reports framed this as a reignited beef, noting it traced back to 2014 when Meek first complained Wale wasn't promoting Dreams and Nightmares. In each flap, Wale's response has been to call out the pettiness of the drama, essentially telling critics and fellow artists to mind their own business. Yet the very need to publicly respond underscores that he feels overlooked or attacked. As he himself tweeted, he prefers, quote, "minding my business," than get tangled in rumors. Throughout Wale's career, a few themes reoccur. He publicly complains when he believes peers and media slight him, and he openly grapples with needing validation. He has called himself sensitive to criticism, and other voices have characterized his sensitivity as his Achilles heel. Whether addressing a fan, a magazine editor, or a fellow rapper, Wale's defensive reactions, from literal shouting matches to long social media posts, have drawn both sympathy and derision. Some peers have advised him not to take haters personally, but Wale's own words show he still wonders why people don't seem to value him. Media reactions range from calling his outbursts hilarious to praising his honesty. Fans are similarly divided, some applauding his openness and others mocking his inability to shrug things off. In all cases, Wale's public-facing struggle with insecurity has become a defining part of his image, evidenced by direct quotes and social posts where he laments being underappreciated, ignored, or distrusted by the very industry whose approval he craves.
So, Wally, I gotta say, bro, this industry that you're in is not for the weak at heart. It never has been,
No.
right? And over the years, when it's painfully obvious, is that you feel a certain type of way just about how people view you, how they rate you, all of that. I don't know where it comes from. It could be small town syndrome, right? Because you come from Germantown, and in Maryland, there's only a couple of places that's really spoken about, right? To be truthful, and you a rapper,
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no straight out of Germantown type shit going on over here or anywhere for that matter. And maybe you felt from the moment you got into the industry that, you know, I'm from this little ass town.
Mm-hmm.
People they're not gonna rate me. They're gonna treat me with. I don't know what it is with you with that, but it is so obvious that it's a problem that you would have expected at some point you would have dealt with that, because it's once it's something cements into your brand, it's hard to get that shit off, dude. It just is. Now, you've had a measure of success.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many rappers from Germantown? Well, you're probably the only one. Baltimore, D.C., Prince George's County. You know how many rappers would have loved to have a slice of the career you had?
Right.
But your insecurity will not allow you, at least it appears, will not allow you to enjoy that for what it is. Now, listen, I'm a rapper. I get it. I do get it. We often say that we are the greatest of all times. So when you say you was doing some legend shit, I get why you would inflate a lot of that the way you would. Because
if we're talking about percentages, he's not wrong, right? Mm-hmm. If we're talking about percentages, yes, absolutely, Wale has done some legendary shit. If we're talking about percentages, like facts, right. And like I said, there are valid points mixed in with all the bullshit. Like,
right,
him, I don't know. It's a whole thing. Like, I just don't. I feel like quit your bitching.
See, and that's where I was kind of leading to. Like, bruh, you managed to come out of I've been to Germantown. It was sleepy as fuck. And I was only there because I wanted to help my wife. She was doing the whole vlogging shit back then. Mm-hmm. So I was recording a vlog she did with a small company there. You have done an amazing job when you put it in context of where you came from, the amount of notoriety you got. But see, you ruined that notoriety for yourself, because now what you're known as being don't need man that give you money. Like, your whole shit is tainted with the Ralph Tresvant now. You know what I'm saying? You're a man with sensitivity, right? And you kind of did that yourself because, listen, you responding to every no-name NPC that says something that may come across your feed about you, you feel like you got to respond. That is a telltale sign. You know what a lot of these artists do that really be feeling themselves and shit, like really be feeling themselves. They don't pay any attention to what these this one off. They don't respond to that. The fact that you did is troubling, and I think Talib Kweli got a little bit of that, but not like you. Not like you.
Yeah,
it's too much, B. It is, and unfortunately for you, how many years in you are right now?
20 now, I think.
You're not beating that charge.
Yeah.
That's on you. That's on your jacket. You're not beating it.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
It's despicable.
I mean, there are some sources that say they think you stink. I won't go into saying any names, GA, but
I'll be right back.
but that shouldn't be a reason for you to be responding, because you will always find somebody that's not gonna like what the fuck you did. That's just what it is, right? That's what this game is. Particularly the fact that you're in the lane rep. There's not going to be a shortage of people calling you whack. They're going to think you just whack. They don't like what the fuck you do. It is what it is with that. You ain't supposed to be really focusing in on that. And that's something you should have learned, because you went as far as you did in the industry. You should have been learned that. Like me, I'm an underground hip hop artist that had a low following that's a little above maybe some of the people that I came up with, but I'm not by no means anywhere near you where you're at. And I learned that. Everybody not gonna like you. They're just not. They're just not. And you got to be good with that. And you got to have a lot of, well, fuck them in you. Fuck them. I'm me. That's why when you say I'm doing legend stuff, it don't wholly come off as convincing that you feel that way, because you keep responding this way. So you can say all you want. This is legend shit, but it's not convincing, because we don't feel that you really think that. We feel that you feel like you being victimized by somebody. That the whole industry was against you and shit. Like, It's like a whole, why is everybody always picking on me type shit. That's that energy, and that's not a good energy for a rapper to have. Like a rapper, listen, I've said this many times. Some of you, the reason you don't get traction with your shit is because you don't have Super Saiyan in you. What I mean by that? Your Clark Kent is missing a Superman. So when you go out here and present your branding, you just seem regular. And in rap, your rap persona is not supposed to appear regular.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so like in order to stand above the fray, because there's a billion rappers now, right? To stand above the fray, you have to be able to connect that shit to something, right? That makes you seem larger than life, right? It's one of the things that they're annoyed about the most with hip hop over the years. They hate when we be calling ourselves grand bastard. They hated that shit. These little niggas, yeah. But we did that because we believed it.
Yeah.
And you don't sound like you believe it. You really believe it. Or it's too important to you if others believe it. But the first stage in getting others to believe it is you have to believe it.
Fair.
I had, for years, anytime a discussion, a meme, anything about death was in my community, I got tagged in it.
Right.
Because my whole promotion was, I am the physical incarnation of death.
Mm-hmm.
Entropy, entropic man himself, right? You have to be convincing through your music, through your actions, all of that. And when social media came along and got popular, to defend him a little bit, he ain't the only one that couldn't handle that shit. There's a lot of motherfucking artists that could not handle the fact that the transition between We only really see these people in interviews and magazines, on the occasional late night show, if we go to a concert, or in one of these rap magazines. There's a lot of you motherfuckers that couldn't handle that shit. The fact that now, because of the way the internet is, people get to see more of you. And if you're not cautious on how you utilize that, whatever marketing plan you had about your imagery goes right out the fucking window. Right out the fucking window, because people are going to assign to you what they see from you. If they see you always whining, and I was talking about, why is everybody always picking on me? They see you doing that shit. The word sensitive is going to be bandied about. And as a rapper, you never
don't want that. You don't want that.
You never want that.
That's not.
Now, fuck that for me.
No, wait. A different meaning of the word sensitive, some rappers are fine with. If you are the whole ladies' man thing and blah blah blah,
facts,
yes, that is fine.
Facts.
And the only reason I make that distinction is that Wale does have portions of his career when he was on that. So, but that's not what we talking about, nigga.
No, because that part would have been somewhat positive to your brand.
Absolutely.
But this one is the other one. It's the other, like I had a niece, right? When she was a little girl. She had that energy, right? Now she shouldn't have, because she had a lot of brothers and sisters, and you ain't picking on her. Let me say this again. You ain't picking on her. Because if she don't slap your face, and she got 8 of them that's coming to do that shit, right? But she always had that energy. And I remember telling her one day, I was like, sweetie, the world is not against you.
Right.
They're against me. So while they chasing me, do your thing. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking the weight. You don't got to worry about that no more. They really want me. You got a lot of that energy with you, and you grown. And that's not cool.
He's 40.
You're 40? 40. Now listen. We know that the presentation of age has changed over the decades, right? Wale at 40 in 2025 would not be the same as some motherfuckers at 40 in 1950.
Sure.
Or now 1930, right?
Right.
Yo, 40's different now, right? And you made it, my nigga. 40. You know how many niggas didn't?
Hey.
All that shit you doing right there. If you stop right now, it's still gonna be part of your brand. But at least you stopped, and you won't add any new shit. I'm not telling you not to be you. I'm saying don't be you. Don't be so much you in public like that. If that's you, all right, cool. But understand that you're a brand, and you bringing too much of that shit to the public. All of us have things about our personalities, quirks, things that we consider failings, things that we're uncomfortable with, all of that shit, right? But part of being media trained is you don't give it to them, or at least you don't give it to them in a format that doesn't elevate your brand. So you can be absolutely feel like a failure and all of that shit, put it in your music and make some spectacular ass music that motherfuckers relate to. Go, yeah, I've had those feelings too. And that elevates your brand. But if you're doing post on Twitter, Instagram, or comments where everybody's always picking on me, if that's your shit, that's not helping your brand none. And we gonna look at you crazy. Now, I'm speaking to you respectfully because I actually respect what you've done. I know how hard it is to make something out of music when you come from, small town. I respect it, but I can't respect this.
Oh no,
you gotta stop. You gotta stop. It's ugly. It doesn't. Look, I remember when I was 40. Now, listen, all I'm trying to tell you, bro. All I'm trying to tell you is this ain't it. So when you see the title, well, you may never see it, but if you do, you might, because you be responding to my. You know what I'm saying? But if you see this title and says Naw Wale, that's basically what we talking about. Nah,
yeah,
this ain't it
at all. Like, what are you doing, my guy? Like, chill out. It's okay. It is okay. Like,
It's fun.
Now, here's the thing, right? There's a universe where this Kai Cenat thing was staged, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is that your history is so consistent that nobody's ever going to believe that. Also, Kai responded to all this, and he was basically like, "Yo, allow me to be who I am. I'm a young nigga. I don't know everything
I'm a
about
YN.
everything." Well, no, absolutely not. But he was like, I don't know everything about everything. Like,
that's a good point too.
It was not on purpose. I wasn't trying to slight him or anything like that. I just don't know everything about everything. Like, it was not.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, now don't get me wrong. Kai, you should have knew who Wale was. A little bit. You should have knew who Wale was. Just a little bit. Like, yes. Yeah, I'd have to say there are people defending Wale who say some outrageous shit, right? One of those things is, let me see if I have it on my Twitter. I was flabbergasted. My flabbers were gasted when I saw this one thing. Let me see. Wale was because I want to find the exact. Okay, that's not it.
Just a real quick aside, real quick. To my, I got a sister named Afidi, Cameroon. She's coming to the United States fairly soon. Be careful, sis. I'm telling you, just be careful, because this place ain't. I know you know, but yeah, be careful. Anyway, continue.
Who else was out during that time? Because I need to find this specific tweet, because what the fuck are you talking about, sir or madam? I don't remember. I don't remember. If I remembered who it was, this would be so much easier.
Of course, you can search it.
Blah blah blah. That's not it. All right, I'm gonna move that to the side, and I'm gonna assume it can only be. I feel like it can only be one of two people. I feel like it was either Mickey Fax, writer of Rafe, or
so ass with that.
Rob Markman, who is a writer, media guy, rapper. He's been around for years, and he's a very respected source.
Is he a journalist?
I don't know if he has a degree, but he is journalistic.
Okay.
He absolutely is journalistic.
And the only reason I keep going back to that is because I'm really annoyed now. I saw a clip of something where some guy who's clearly not a journalist is being referred to as a journalist. But there is reasons for why this is happening now. You see a lot of this because legacy media has lost credibility. So because they've lost credibility, they've opened the gates for people who are decidedly not journalists to call themselves journalists in that space. And it's like, it really annoys me when someone says they're a doctor or haven't been to medical school. Like, that shit really bothers me, right?
Yo, right. Wait. Yo! All right, so for people that don't know, on Twitter, you can go to a person's profile and search their tweets, right? So I just said that I thought it was either Rob Markman or Mickey Fax who made this comment that I thought was absolutely ridiculous. Writer of Rafe, absolutely. So I went to Rob Markman's page, searched Wale. There are quite a few posts about Wale. He didn't say it. Okay. I I went to Mickey's profile and I typed in Wale.
He went in.
Mickey has never mentioned Wale in his entire history on Twitter.
Wow.
Which is a little, I don't want to say concerning, which is a little weird to me because they from the same era. And Mickey is often talking about the blog era niggas because he's a blog era nigga.
Sure.
So what? Is this? Okay, it's not true. Okay. Woo! I'm about to say nigga. Okay. All right. Wait, that's not true. It's not true. He said things about Wale before. All right. I had to, because what the fuck do you mean? All right, so let me see. Let me go back to Rob Markman to make sure I was on the wrong tab. Oh, he's talking to Wale. Where is he talking about Wale? To Wale. Oh, no, it wasn't. All right, so it wasn't either of them. So I guess I got to paraphrase it. Basically, the bigger people from the blog era. So this post mentioned Drake, Kendrick, Cole, Big Crit, Big Sean, a bunch of these niggas, and mentioned Wale, and said there was a point in time where Wale was the biggest nigga out of all of these niggas. Nigga, I am alive.
Oh shit!
I live.
This is
I
what you're
am
about to say.
a millennial. So I came of age during a certain time period, right?
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah.
There are 3 or 4 songs from Wale.
Don't do it.
I'm being generous, but
all
right, maybe two, maybe 3. There are 3 songs from Wale that anytime they come on, I'm going to rock them out. It's 3. It's 3 songs. It's Pretty Girls, and all of them ain't even his songs, but it's right. Pretty Girls, it's Lotus Flower Bomb, it's No Hands. Those 3 songs, pretty much. Shut up, Gia. Pretty much anytime, whatever mood I'm in, if one of those 3 songs come on, I'm gonna rock out. I'm gonna let it rock out.
I mean, that
being said, outside of a scenario, because I don't have the eidetic memory of when each of these niggas came out and all that shit. Right. Barring one of these niggas not being out yet or not breaking through yet, there was never.
And the rock means ever
a time where Wale was. Now again, like I said, if we're talking about when their careers broke, I can't argue with that because that's just how time works, right? Wow. I'm not arguing that. But I mean, from the time each of these niggas got their break, there has never been a time where Wale was bigger than Aubrey Drake Graham. Never. There has never been a time where Wale was bigger than Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. Never. There has never been a time where Wale was bigger than Jermaine Cole. Like, what are we talking? I don't quite remember about Big Sean because when Big Sean, all right. So with Drake, the reason I can be sure about Drake,
Big Sean's kind of short. Go ahead.
Shut up. I heard Drake shit before he broke, right? So I started at the wrong one. I heard Big Sean shit before he broke, right?
Hey, so yo, because bugging, yo. So well, he isn't even picking.
Okay, yeah, let's not do that.
Yo, he's bugging.
So I heard Big Sean shit before he broke. So I'm eliminating myself from talking about Big Sean's celebrity when he broke. Because, like I said, I heard about him before he broke.
Sean ain't
The
broke.
reason I don't apply that to Drake is because, regardless of how we feel, this nigga was at the top of the rap game. Like,
Who Lawbury?
yeah. So that same reasoning I have for Sean doesn't apply to Drake because we know what Drake went on to be. Sean has, by some people, has been considered to be the number 4 of the big 3 at times. So, sure. Cole, no. Kendrick, no. We're not doing this. I don't even know what you want to call it. Like revisionist history. Like just because you may have lived in a market where Wale was played more than some of these other niggas. Like you might have lived in a market where Wale was played more. That's possible. Absolutely. But nigga, I live in Baltimore. Wale was getting plays here.
Yeah.
No. Matter of fact, I wonder.
What do you wonder?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm about to now this is what's the word?
Ryan said he's listening to more Nelly than Wale. I think this
is a bit cursory.
Everybody.
This is a bit cursory, but I'm gonna do this quick search up because now I need to know.
What I need to know. What I need to know is no, I don't actually need to know that because I know how it happens. I know why dudes would. No, I don't. Now I take that back. I don't. I'm about to say how could dudes, other than the Mandela effect, how could dudes believe that somebody was?
It has to be. Shoot, can I go? I'm gonna go singles. Because like for instance, right? I searched Wale discography, right? And it you know how Wikipedia will give you suggestions as you're typing.
Mm-hmm.
So I put Wale and I started typing discography and it filled that out. Discography, right? Mm-hmm. The thing about this is on Wikipedia, there are some artists who have artist name and discography, right? Mm-hmm. But there are other artists more what's the word? More prolific.
Who's Bieber, Ryan? Who's Bieber? I never heard of him.
Shut up. There are other artists who are more prolific that will have an artist singles discography page and an artist album discography page.
Sure.
So, Wale was first name I searched up because we're comparing.
Wait a minute, I think I have that page too. Right?
Because we're comparing everybody to him. And then when I went to type in Kendrick Lamar, it showed both. So that's just okay. All right. Let me continue my search because this is blasphemy. I don't even understand. And you about to make me see? I hate when motherfuckers make me defend Drake.
No,
yo, it's the worst thing in the fucking world.
Listen, what's going to wind up happening is YouTube is going to mute all of that part.
Facts. Like. I just have confusion, right? That's what I'm going to say, right? Because we know, because here's the reality behind this. There is, if you get into an argument with somebody about this, they're going to try to manipulate what words mean to try to fit their narrative. And for those type of people, there is no definitive way to convince them because they're always going to have a twist on what a word means to make their narrative work. Yeah. So that's why we always go back to the numbers. Because even though numbers isn't our favorite metric, it's something demonstrative. Mm-hmm. You can absolutely see this is what this nigga was doing at this time. This is what this nigga was doing at this time.
Right.
So I'm just going to go Kendrick, Cole, Drake, and Sean. That's it. I'm just going to go Kendrick, Cole, Drake, and Sean. So Wale. if we're looking at his,
When it comes to Wale,
I'm gonna say albums because niggas was still doing albums back then. It's become more single driven recently in recent years, but niggas was still doing albums back then. We talking about 2009. So,
yeah,
Wale has peak positions U.S. Kendrick. Oh wait, I went to Kendrick singles. So let me go to Kendrick.
keep going. I can hear you.
Okay, let me go to Kendrick's albums. Okay, Kendrick Lamar. All right, so Kendrick Lamar's. McKenna says there's also a difference, in my opinion, in fame levels when someone says the name of a song and you recognize it versus recognizing their name. While I recognize song names, but I know the name of Kendrick. That is a fair point. That's absolutely a fair point. Like, for instance, Wale No Hands, like I said earlier, that's not even his song. So it's probably fair to say he's a bigger artist than. I don't even know if I want to say he's a bigger artist than Waka Flocka, but it's fair to say Wale is a bigger artist than Roscoe Dash, sure. But let's be a little for real. Like, I gotta go to albums for Kendrick. I gotta go to albums for Drake. I gotta go to albums for Cole. So, again, this is not comprehensive. Number one. Number two, this is not how we truly feel about rankings and ratings, but that's a more spirited conversation that we would have to have somebody who actually believes the opposite point, right? And that's not the scenario that we're in. So this is just a reference. And there was a third caveat, but I don't remember it, right? So, and Sean albums. Okay. So, out of all these people, Wale came out first, right? So, take that how you will, right? If we're talking about people's first album, I want to say, all right, so Wale's first album, right, was Attention Deficit. He did not go gold. It charted peak 21 on the U.S. Billboard Hot. I think it's 200 for albums, whatever the case may be. It peaked number 3 at U.S. R&B and 2 U.S. rap. So 21 all music, 3 R&B, 2 rap, and did not go gold. That was 2009. I want to not include this for fairness' sake, because nobody else was putting out an album at this time, right? And also, there's a certain way that artists are signed and that artists are not signed that determines what that debut album is and how it works. One example that is not related to what we're talking about right now is Eminem. A lot of people believe that Eminem's first album is the Slim Shady LP, when in actuality, it's actually Infinite. But Infinite was before he was signed to a major. So you'll have people debating which was his actual first album. That's one of the reasons why I'm taking Attention Deficit out of here. But also,
I mean, I have a little bit of that.
well, no, you don't have a little bit of that.
Imagine.
Also for Kendrick, because they have his first album as Section 80. And again, there's some people that will argue that it is Section 80. Some people will argue his first album is Good Kid, Mad City. Again, we're taking it out of the equation because it's one of those situations where, yeah, he was signed to a label, but he didn't have his major label signing yet. So we're skipping Section 80 as well as we're skipping Attention Deficit. Let's see. Drake, first album, Thank Me Later. No, we counting Thank Me Later because he was already signed to Young Money.
Okay.
So we counting Thank Me Later. J. Cole, Sideline Story. He was already signed to Roc Nation. So that counts. Okay. Big Sean, Finally Famous. He was already signed to Good Music. So we counting that. Okay, so Wale's first album, given all of that, was Ambition. Mm-hmm. It was 2011.
Mm-hmm.
He peaked number 2 US, number 1 R&B, number 1 rap. He went gold. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's 2011. Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, 2012. He peaked number 2 US, number 1 R&B, number 1 hip hop, and has gone triple platinum. Okay, Drake. He went number 1 US. It doesn't have the hip hop and R&B charts on here because it has the Canadian chart on here, and he went number 1 in Canada, and he went double platinum. This is 2010. J. Cole, 2011, number 1 US, number 1 R&B, number 1 hip hop. He went platinum. Big Sean, number 3 US, number 2 hip hop. Number 2 R&B, number 1 rap. He went platinum. That's all of their debut albums. Only one of them failed to go platinum.
Who was that? Oh. I see what you did there.
So, let's go backwards. So, Sean, until 2024, did not release another album that peaked lower than number 3 on the overall Billboard. He also did not fail to go gold for the rest of his career up until 2024. Okay?
He said what? He did
not fail to go gold for the rest of his career up to 2024. J. Cole has never put out an album that peaked lower than number 1 US. Also, he has never failed to go platinum. Drake has never put out an album that peaked lower than number 1 US, and he has never failed to go platinum. Kendrick Lamar has never put out an album that peaked lower than number 1 US, and he has blah, 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 blah. He's never failed to go gold. But only 2 of them, the most recent 2, went gold. All of them before that, platinum. Platinum plus, actually. Wale.
Stop.
Wale's 4th album peaked at number 16 US. And it did not go gold. Again, remember, when I say these numbers, I'm excluding the first album of Wale and the first album of Kendrick because they weren't major deals.
Of course.
No! At no point. And I was giving him grace by saying it depends on what time we talk. No, it don't depend on what time we talking.
You can't give him grace, yo.
There's never been
no
a
grace
time.
you can show him.
And here's the thing. With the sales is a little bit more accurate. if we're excluding potential collusion and all that bullshit, right? We're just taking it as good faith. The sales are more accurate than the chart numbers because chart numbers can be manipulated by seeing who is dropping around that time and deciding when you want to drop based
I
on
like
who's
when
dropping.
you say more
Yeah.
valid.
Yeah.
Not necessarily completely,
right.
More than
right. But like I said, the sales are more valid than the charts because the charts can be manipulated by the people releasing the album. Because if you look and you see that nobody's releasing on this day, boom,
I'm going to release that.
You're going to release that day. Mm-hmm. But even with that, now don't get me wrong, it's not that Wale's albums peaked low, right? 16 of all U.S. music, that's still a pretty damn good,
really good
peak.
Really good.
Right?
Really
that's still a good ass peak. But to claim that Wale was the one out of these niggas, what are you talking? Huh?
He was that.
He wasn't
one nigga
even
out of
the one
100,000
on his label. Meek was the one over Wale.
Hey, now.
Now it did give MMG the perception of being the sensitive thug label.
True.
Because Meek is a sensitive ass motherfucker, just like Wale is.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna lie about that. But yeah, like, all right, let's do this also. Kendrick. He's the A side on his label. When he was on TDE, before he broke out with Mad City, it was J-Rock. But after Mad City, Kendrick was the A side for that label, for that imprint. Drake, even though Wayne was Wayne and Nicki was Nicki, Drake ended up being the A side for Young Money. It's just what happened. It's what happened. J. Cole. Now, the difference with J. Cole is he was signed to Roc Nation, which is not that same type of imprint. Like, Roc Nation is just a vast, like, it's like hundreds of artists on Roc Nation. So it's not quite the same thing.
And a lot of those artists are tax write-offs.
So. Yeah. But by his second album, he created Dreamville. And obviously, he's the A side of Dreamville. Right?
Yeah.
Sean. Now, Sean is the only one that's the exception. He was never the A side of good music because you have Common, Kanye, Pusha T. Like,
true.
It wasn't a lot of people, but it was some heavy hitters signed to that imprint. So, all right, sure. Sean was never the A side of that. But for all intents and purposes, the people that were actually doing shit, it was Ross, Wale, and Meek. It wasn't too many other like super big acts on MMG.
So where he get off saying that at one point Wale was bigger than everybody?
I don't know, bro. I don't like I said.
How do you justify that?
He gotta be from DC or the DMV area. He gotta be, yo. There's no way around that because you bullshit. I wish I would have. Matter of fact, let me see if I did save it in my bookmarks. Because that might be. I might have been doing all this searching for nothing.
Because I remember when he was big in DC, he's the biggest thing in DC. I remember that.
Sure.
But that's not really saying a whole lot.
No, not really. I mean,
DC little.
Yeah. I think it's crazy. Blah, Cody World, blah, blah, blah. Conversation. Why do they call Ice One and Smoke when cat? Okay, no, that's not it. Let me drop the banger on just when the past in a minute. No, I didn't. I didn't bookmark it. Oh, wait, did I? I'll put it together. No, I don't think. Oh, no. Yeah, no, I didn't bookmark it. That's crazy. I have an entire segment called Dumbass of the Week, and I didn't. Anyway. My bad. I apologize for my outburst. There is a bookmark on here that I did want to address, though.
You know, when it comes to Wale, I feel like the only time I really hear from him is when shit like this happens, which is also not good for your brain. Like, if the only time I'm hearing your name bandied about is when it's something that is brand defining and not in a good way, there's a problem.
That part.
To be honest, I would just like these guys to do some music.
That part.
I'm pretty much exhausted from the outrage marketing or the embarrassment marketing or the. I'm so over that. In fact, I don't think I was ever on it.
Yeah.
Like, if a story is interesting, funny, or something like that, of course we're going to talk about.
Yeah, facts.
But I just like the days when what we heard from them, it was music. You know, it's too much of this other shit. And to be frank with you, some of these motherfuckers aren't really that interesting for real, for real.
Sure.
Their music is interesting because with their music, you get all these inner thoughts that you can break down and decipher. But if I see you too much and hear you too much, like, it can be a plus if you're media trained and you are crafting your online persona to match your product. All right, that's synergy there can't be beat. I've often said in the past that if my fans follow my social media posts and stuff, they can pretty much guess what's going to be on the next album coming up, right? That's one thing. But I feel like when I should see stuff like about Joe Budden and the women in his life, I was like, yo, like, I don't care.
Right.
I just want you to rap
That part.
on a beat that I like so I can do this. Like, I don't care about the other stuff, you know? You got an ingrown toenail, I gotta know about it now. It's all on fucking Twitter and shit. Like, I know this is gonna sound mean. I don't even really care about you having another kid. I don't care. I really don't. Salute. Hope the kid's healthy, but I just want you to rap. Like, could you just rap? Just rap. Like, I'm gonna tell you why I like, outside of the genre of rap, Samuel L. Jackson, the GOAT. Usually when I hear about him, it's because of a movie. It's the shit that I like him for. And I'm hearing, oh shit, for real? Oh, that's what's up. Right? And then the occasional time I might see a post, Twitter post or two, where he's taken to task the power structure in this country. I appreciate that. I do. But I don't be hearing about how, you know, he went outside and got caught in the rain without an umbrella, and his handlers didn't have one for him. I don't hear about none of that.
Much. So very much.
I'm just saying, like,
so very, very, very much.
I feel like I'm learning too much about some of these people, and it's not helping them. It's one thing if I'm hearing about this shit, but it's helping brand. Like, yo, that's impressive.
I have to disagree. I do believe it is helping them. It's not helping them with people like you.
No.
There are people who absolutely hear the minutia of a person's everyday, and they develop this parasocial relationship, which feeds into the fandom. Now, there are times when the parasocial gets to stalker levels, and that's not good for anybody involved. But I would argue that the vast majority of people who develop a light parasocial relationship with celebrities is actually helpful for the celebrity.
Now, see, here's the thing. That's why I said earlier, when it's things that there's negative, I don't want to hear that.
You have people, right, that will see the negative shit, and because they have this parasocial relationship, they'll jump in and defend them.
I know.
So I
I'm
mean,
saying
it's
that-
a whole circle. I mean,
Looking at you, OVO.
I mean to say circus.
My thing, my thing is, we've seen the dark side of that.
Mm-hmm.
OVO.
Oh yeah.
Now listen, far be it from me, because a lot of my personal family stuff, you can see it online, but it's also perfectly crafted.
Mm-hmm.
They know I'm a father.
Right.
You know, I'm a husband. They see good things about my kids. Oh yeah, my daughter graduated. Yeah. Shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say it ain't some bad shit.
Right.
Y'all need to know that.
No.
Now, when your bad shit starts spilling over,
Yeah.
it's so bad that it starts spilling over into.
Yeah, Wale. I found the bookmark that I wanted to talk about. It's not even. I don't know if it's dumbass or if this, like, I don't know what this is.
Annoying ass. You need some other categories.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm just going to go through the whole situation. So,
Okay.
and it's not just one tweet. It's a thing. So there's this young lady that I follow on Twitter. She talks about a whole bunch of different stuff, and one of the things, she has a separate Twitter that is private, and you have to pay to get access to it. So I can only imagine.
Yeah, I forgot Twitter was doing that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, no, it's not a Twitter feature. It's her. Like, you have to Cash App her to get access to it. People do that. People do it. That's the whole thing.
So Twitter doesn't have a way for you
no,
to make
they
money
do
on it?
have a way to do that, but it's not. She's not doing it through Twitter. I don't know what type of money they take or whatever the case. So she's not doing it through Twitter. She's doing it through Cash App, her own personal Cash App. So she.
But surely, when you do that, you get the tweet. She's talking about some really important shit.
Oh, I have no idea. I'm probably not. It's not a. It's
hey, yo,
I'm fairly certain.
Hey.
See, that's. I'm fairly certain that it's not. I'm fairly certain that tweet, that page is not about discussion. I would argue. I would argue that. Yeah, I would argue. I would argue that Twitter profile is not about discussion. Yeah, that's my best guess. Now, she doesn't.
I know, Ron. I know.
She doesn't advertise it, right? She brings it up every now and then, but she doesn't like, hey, go blah blah blah. No, I guess it's just extra change for. Apparently, it's not even a monthly thing. It's like a one-time fee for access, some shit like that.
Speaking of that, Black Culture Geeks is going to have a Substack.
Oh,
anyway,
indeed,
go ahead.
indeed. Yeah, it's not even a monthly thing, so it's not like she's using it to fund her lifestyle or anything like that. So she made a post about it. I'm not about to search for that post. That post said something to the effect of, I'm pretty sure that y'all could figure out the type of stuff that's on my other profile based on some of the things that I say whenever I reference that profile, right?
Well, that's definitely OnlyFans. Listen, we not.
I mean, it's not OnlyFans. It's on Twitter, nigga. But again, I'm fairly certain that profile is not about conversation. That's how I'll leave it. So somebody commented to that. I'm guessing it was an unfavorable comment, but it's unavailable now. So it got deleted, or that person got that suspended, or whatever the case. I don't know. But she responds to that response. She responds to that response and says, "Nobody finna pay for it, but 481 people did." Wait, 481. I think it's like $20.
Wow,
that's a decent amount of money. I mean,
yes, sir.
But again, it's not monthly. That's just one time. But
hey,
right? That's what I'm saying. Listen. So she said 481 people did. Talking shit and following me is weird. Oh, see, that person also follows you. See, yeah. Wait. And I saw you in the requests. Yo, so somebody else comments on that post and says, "Shut the fuck up, bitch, cry a river." So
wow. Yo, can I just say this about Twitter real quick? Like some of you motherfuckers that nest there are shitbirds.
Oh,
And
it
y'all
gets worse. It gets so much worse.
Oh my god.
It gets so much worse.
Y'all motherfuckers have these canned responses. This is what I've noticed. These canned responses that show that you are in actual real life, you couldn't possibly be anything important. It couldn't be. You could not possibly be. Like the way y'all respond to certain everything. I ain't even gonna say certain shit. Everything. Some of you are a shitbird.
So I'll go to this nigga page. He has 68 followers.
Oh my.
He created this profile in January.
Troll.
Wait though. Listen to these posts. So the last public post that he made was in April. And then I'm gonna read some of these posts. It gets so much worse. Okay. So the last post he posted, ain't gonna lie, some of y'all need to do refunds. Y'all got motherfuckers paying over $10 for your OnlyFans, and y'all don't got no vids for real, just pics, and y'all don't be showing shit for real, just spamming the same shit. Twitter pages just be a setup for finesse. That's one. Next post. He is quote tweeting somebody's some sex worker. And he says, look at who be talking. Motherfuckers be Autobots and talking crazy like you obviously don't love yourself. He quotes another sex worker. That's how much effort. This is the whole page. This is his entire posts. This is how much effort you motherfuckers put into doing this shit. If your lazy ass, bum ass can put effort into being sex slaves, you could do it for a job. You motherfuckers rather get touched by 100 niggas than do something productive. Next post. Women put so much effort into being sex dummies, it's sad, and wonder why you motherfuckers single.
Because the world is beating down the door to be a couple with you.
Next post. I cannot have respect for a woman who don't respect herself. Y'all be
oh my goodness. The
wait.
My God,
y'all be out here fucking on everything, walking, but don't want a man to cater and be your nigga and show you love and respect, but you don't give yourself that.
Y'all, right? I can't. Y'all motherfuckers kill me with the respect. Let me see if I can pull you back down to earth. Motherfuckers don't live their life with the sole goal of getting your respect. Who the fuck are
so the last post, the last actual post of his that I'm going to read is again another quote tweet to a different sex worker, and he says, "That's God. That's God. What up? That's God saying stop and get a real job. It's not that serious to post yourself on social media naked. Y'all got no respect or attention for real, so you do porn to feel important." Now, you've heard all of these posts that he's made about and directly toward different sex workers, right?
He's a trick, yo.
But wait. It gets worse. If you slide one tab over to his replies, if you slide one tab over to his replies, one of these replies says the word proof, right? So you click on the post so you can see what he's replying to. Oh, it was deleted. Somebody said something. It was a sex worker who said something about the size of her ass or something like that. And he posted it. He replied, proof. Another reply. Another sex worker says, was finna send you a video of it clapping, but you still sleep. He replies, come on. Another sex worker. Man. Chicago, an hour and a half away from me, no traffic. He replies, I got wheels though, I'm beating that. Another sex worker says, I message games and nudes. whose freaky ass is down to play? He replies, come on, text me. So you see how the replies and the posts ain't matching up?
This is all these niggas, yo. Listen to me. This is all these niggas, yo. All these niggas are tricks, yo. All these niggas, that when you be seeing these guys where their entire social media profile is them running down women in the sex industry, talking shit about women. That's why you don't have no respect. These are all fucking trick ass niggas, yo. And on top of that, yo, it's like, unfortunately, the shit they do is so many of them that these opinions are just strung all over social media and you see them everywhere. Yeah. But I guarantee you, bro, it doesn't even go on any YouTube channel where there's a woman in the video talking that might be pretty or scantily clad or both, right? Look in the fucking comments and you see these loser ass gooners in that motherfucker talking crazy about fucking morality and this is why you can't get a man, and this is all this other shit. Yo, all you have to do is check their browser history. Mm-hmm. And yo, these are a bunch of loser motherfuckers that get on fucking social media and then all of a sudden become 17th century Quakers. Yo, with big dumbass buckles on their head. Like, these motherfuckers are some of the worst people online, and they're always harassing women. This woman could be videoing her experience on the beach that she had with her girlfriends, where she's wearing a bathing suit because she's on the beach. You fucking hump. Mm-hmm. And you'll have these niggas in the goddamn in the comment section calling her all kinds of fucking names, whores, slut. And then when we confront these same bastard ass motherfuckers, they will swear up and down they don't hate women. Nigga, not only do you hate women, you hate yourself. And only half of that equation is valid. You should hate yourself. You're a piece of shit. And you have issues, and instead of you dealing with those issues, you come online and harass women. I see you niggas doing it all the time. And unfortunately, it's so many of y'all motherfuckers that you have literally given validation to these loser, no talented ass niggas doing these podcasts who all they do is run down women. Mm-hmm. And because there's so many of y'all, and you want to just hear another man, you want to simp for another man as he runs down women, y'all willing to give engagement, y'all paying for Patreon shit, and you're making this motherfucker money so he can run around and talk about how he's a high-value man. And y'all sit there and wish you could be what he is. Or you come online and lie and act like you already are. Oh, yes, I have a six-figure. You know, stop lying. Mm-hmm. You would have better things to do than this. You do not. All you have is a bunch of misogyny, like just caked up in you that you didn't even learn yourself. Somebody else gave you that. That shit was around before you. That's why all of this shit, yo, I see the same thing with racists, yo. Y'all still using insults from 200 years ago. You don't have anything new. And every time you say some shit, you show your fucking ignorance. You show either your lack of understanding of history, your lack of understanding how societies actually work, your lack of understanding of how humanity actually is. So you're no different than these misogynist motherfuckers. They get on here with that dumb shit. And the thing that bothers me the most, right? Because these niggas are annoying. But what annoys me the most is motherfuckers who don't think like them, but ain't willing to confront them. How pussy are you? You have a sister, a mom, an aunt, a daughter, a girlfriend, a wife, or just a friend, a bunch of women friends. How pussy are you not to confront these motherfuckers? Like, yo, all that shit is just wild to me, man. You don't look like you think you look. You look like a fucking loser who just wants to harass a woman who's living. She's just doing what the fuck she do. And you mad. And we know why you mad. We know why you mad. Because it's hard being alone out this motherfucker.
Mm.
And some of y'all can't handle it. And I can't say I blame you, because part of being able to handle being alone is liking yourself. And just going off of what I see here online, you don't have any reason to like yourself.
That part.
Being alone must be horrible for you. Y'all niggas is wild, bro. Like the idea, the idea that you devote any amount of time of your life to going on some woman's fucking Facebook post, Instagram post, or you talking this dumbass shit because they just living their lives, when you could have just scrolled by. It's something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
She doing whatever she doing for whatever reason she doing it, but you feeling like all of a sudden you the fun police, you the sexy police. That's too sexy. How dare you? Stop it. Y'all motherfuckers are embarrassing. And because of your shit, guys who don't think like that get powered all into that shit.
Right.
But that's also the other reason why guys that don't think like that, you can't be pussy enough to not confront these niggas. Don't care about your numbers. Don't care about your numbers. I don't care how many of you are all online saying, hiding behind these fake ass profile pics and all that. You pussy.
That part.
Shit is whack, B. And especially when you go, if you go and look under the comments and you got over 100 comments of niggas saying somewhat similarly the same fucking thing. Like they all part of the He-Man Woman Haters Club or No Ma'am from Married with Children and shit. Y'all niggas need to stop, man. Y'all the same. I seen, the shit that bothered me too, some of these same motherfuckers will spend an inordinate amount of time and money in strip clubs.
That part.
But then you got shit to say up to sex work. Stop, B. Stop. It's looking sus. It's looking sus as shit. Point on the Barbie doll what hurt you. Like, seriously. That shit is garbage, B. Garbage. If you don't like what that woman's doing, look at something else.
Look away.
The fact that you're over here putting this amount of comments, I'll set her straight. Nigga, will you? Set yourself straight. Oh, that's right. You already have a 6-figure job and you own your own home and all of that. Sure. That's what it is. That's what it is. You already have a happy life with a happy wife and kids. And why are you doing that? Tomorrow is Daddy's Day.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my second birthday around this motherfucker. Reason you don't see me doing none of that goofy ass shit, because other than the fact that I have to live here in the United States, my life's pretty happy. If y'all was really happy with your lives like that, you would not be wasting your time with that shit. You'd be busy doing some things.
That part.
Fuck out of here with y'all. By the way, if you come across this episode, I hope this is the part you see so you realize we are not with you
at all.
And you don't bring your monkey ass over here. Go watch some other niggas that were losers that you turned into winners because you simping for them and gave them all your fucking money for their merch, for their Patreons. Go run over there with them so you can be around a bunch of motherfucking dudes. Go ahead. Because you scaring the women away over here. Fuck out of it. I swear I can't stand these niggas, yo. Can't stand them, yo.
At all.
These motherfuckers spend money to create these podcasts. You see, they got these elaborate setups just to sit there and talk shit about women all damn day. Right. To run down women all day. Fuck out of here, nigga. You not a man. Stop it. I don't want to hear that.
That part.
I don't want to hear that. Because my circle is men in this circle. And well, you do not look familiar. You do not look familiar.
At all. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking? Yo, it's just so amazing seeing it on one profile.
Yeah.
Like, you think you would think the nigga just don't know how Twitter works. Like,
right.
Like, what are you talking? Like, literally one tab over. Twitter has posts, replies, media, or whatever, something like that. And it's like, on the post, oh, sex worker, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, respect, blah, 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 single, blah, blah, blah. And then on the very next tab, hey, let me see. Oh, let me do this. Oh, let me, like, what are you talking, what? Nigga. What?
Right. I can't, bro. I can't. Because because one thing is, listen, as men, all of us, because we were especially raised in a specific type of society, there's always going to be some shit that we should have left on the cutting room floor about our personalities, things I own it.
Right.
Y'all niggas, though, are the worst of us.
Fact.
The worst of us. And y'all not even open to changing the way you see that shit. And I know a lot of it comes from pain. I know a lot of it comes from loneliness. But did you ever think to yourself that you are the author of your pain and you are the author of your loneliness?
Right.
Being that. And don't hit me with I tried to be nice. Because every nigga I've ever heard say shit like that, we know what their niceness is. It's creep shit.
Very much that.
We see you. Yo, Jay said, they can't punch their way out of a wet paper bag with scissors in their hands. Facts. We're talking all this super extra tough, extra macho men. Again, they're acting like they're not men from this generation. They're acting like they're men from the 1800s.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here, nigga. You ain't building no houses. You ain't out there hunting. You ain't doing none of that shit. Nigga, you have a job. Good for you. Stop sitting around acting like you, nigga, you the catch. Is that what it is? Is that why every word that come out of your mouth when you talk to them is, this is why you can't get a man? This is what, did she ask for your hand in marriage, nigga?
Yikes.
Is she chasing you on social media in your inbox? Show us the screenshots. I just need you to respect me. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. But he said couldn't beat snow off of a rope.
Bruh.
Fuck out of here. Yo, I can't stand it, bro. I really can't. That shit is annoying, bro. It's annoying. I didn't look, and that's the other thing too. What killed me is a lot of these guys haven't really had but so many, you could tell, they haven't been in but so many relationships, right? They haven't had but so many experiences with women. Some of the shit they're doing, they're projecting from things that they heard from other motherfuckers and shit.
Of course.
I've had my fair share of relationships, both good and fucking horrible. And you don't see me doing the shit y'all motherfuckers do. That's how I know.
You won't.
Right. That's how I know who you are, who you are. Yeah. That's how I know.
That part.
The way you act. That shit makes me cranky, yo.
Yo, I mean, let's put that in its proper context. But yeah, let's move on to weekend review.
All right, let me give you mine because I actually have. It's short, but some of it's good news. Some of it's just a observation, right? Mm-hmm. So, went to a doctor's appointment the other day. Now, usually I'm tipping the scales at 250 pounds. Usually when I go into doctor's appointment, the conversation inevitably goes around, yo, you got to drop some of that weight. And then I go into the spiel about, look, I'm 6'1". I can carry this. What is you talking about? Nigga, no. No. That's usually the conversation with me and my doctor. Wasn't so this time. Walked in there, two things. I must at some point have had white coat syndrome because every time I go in there, my blood pressure is high as fuck. But I be taking my blood pressure at home all the time, and it be fine with the few occasions of spikes or whatever, right? So I went in there yesterday, and my blood pressure was 118/80. That 250 pounds is down to 242 pounds. And what I'm gonna try to do, shut up. Shut up.
What up, Ken?
What up, Ken? What I'm gonna try to do, right, is before this nigga's wedding, drop another 10. Before this nigga's wedding.
4 months.
4 months. That's time, right?
Yeah. You can do it.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta be Johnny on the spot.
Right.
Right? Before his wedding. The other reason I went in there is because, remember I told you guys a couple of weeks ago about my shoulder? It's still doing that goofy shit. So I got to go for x-rays. I'm going to do that probably Tuesday. They don't think it's nothing severe, but the fact that it's lasted as long as it has,
right?
You just want to make sure it ain't, something that's super serious or whatever. No discoloring there, none of that. So that's fine. That's fine. The other thing this week that I noticed was, look, man, I'm just going to say it. Some of y'all motherfuckers is shameless. You are. But sometimes the fish usually rots from the head.
I mean.
And something that I see, and I think it's just ridiculous. All of y'all have watched the news, and you see the shit that's happening over there in Los Angeles. I have friends that live out there.
Mm-hmm.
And when they sit there and tell you that Los Angeles is on fire, it's a fucking lie. Yeah. It was a radius of a few blocks.
Yeah.
And they keep showing the same footage over and over again. And it had me thinking. The big issue here is the death of shame.
That part.
Right? So we don't talk about shame anymore. Not really. I mean, not where it counts. It used to be the quiet force in the background, a check, a pause, a moment where someone in power realized they crossed the line and backed off, right? You didn't have to agree with their politics to know they were at least trying to act like they gave a fuck. Right. That's over. I don't know how many of you watch these news shows and stuff. You see these politicians shamelessly fucking lying, but that's over. These days, shame doesn't just disappear; it's exiled, mocked. Like they treat it like it's a weakness in the world where power thrives on being unapologetic. Politicians lie, contradict themselves, flip entire belief systems inside out, and do it with the kind of dead-eyed confidence that only comes from knowing nobody's going to hold them to it. We've hit the stage where hypocrisy isn't an occasional scandal. It's pretty much a job requirement. So let's look at the playbook. When the protests swept through that small part of Los Angeles, loud, messy, but largely peaceful, this administration called it an insurrection, sent the National Guard, cited laws meant for coups, claimed they were defending the Republic. But when January 6th happened, when an actual mob stormed the U.S. Capitol, assaulted police, carried zip ties, smeared shit on the walls, that same word, insurrection, suddenly became too strong. Suddenly we needed nuance. Suddenly we were told it was a protest that got out of hand. Mind you, they were in fucking D.C. in these federal buildings and broke into the goddamn Capitol, but that wasn't an insurrection. A few motherfuckers firebombing a car or whatever, a few block radius in LA, that's an insurrection. Not around no federal buildings, none of that shit. That's an insurrection. This wasn't just a double standard. This was a deliberate redefinition of reality, and it was based on their political usefulness. Then came the pardons. So one administration gave them to January 6th rioters. The next one issued them to their own people before anything even happened. Now, you got people that will try to conflate those two things. They're actually not the same thing. And I have no love for Biden or the Biden administration, but knowing what Herod Trump was about to do, with some of those pardons he gave, he should have, to protect them from the bullshit that was about to happen. And you don't need a poli-science degree to see what that looks like. It looks like a system protecting its own.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it looks like, right? So what all this breeds isn't just distrust. It's numbness. Voters stop paying attention. Stop believing anything matters, because how many times can you watch someone flip the script and walk away untouched before you start to believe the game's rigged from top to bottom? This is the slow kill shot to democracy. It's not a bullet. It's a shrug. And here's the thing. It's not even about which party is worse, actually. That kind of misses the point. Shame didn't die because one side lost the moral high ground. It died because both sides started treating ethics like costume changes. Something you put on for the cameras, then toss the second the lights go off. And without shame, politics becomes all theater. Worse, it's marketing. How many times we said that on this show? Shit's marketing. You're not elected to lead anymore. You're there to perform. Say what polls well, reverse it if the polls flip, blame the media, blame the other side, say it louder, say it again. And meanwhile, people out here just trying to get by, man, trying to make sense of a country where rules only apply when convenient and truth is whatever fits the current narrative. We talk about culture wars, about division, about misinformation, but at the heart of it is this: a leadership class that no longer believes it owes us coherence, let alone integrity. Now look, we don't need perfection. We're not asking for saints. We're just asking for standards. We used to expect people in power to at least feel uncomfortable when caught in a lie. Now they double down and then ask for donations. Now, if there's a way forward, it starts with something that SPJ will always say will never happen, because a lot of shit we be asking for is just not happening. Bring back shame. Doesn't even necessarily, although I think it should be public shaming.
Oh, that would be great.
That would be great. But no, not performative outrage. I'm talking, and this will never happen, internal shame. The kind that stops a person mid-sentence and makes them ask, am I full of shit right now? Because until that returns, we stuck with a system that punishes honesty and rewards contradiction. That's a hell of a legacy to leave behind. I'm going to say it if nobody else is going to say it. We suck. We suck because we allow it. And I blame the media too, mostly because their whole job is to keep these motherfuckers honest and keep the people informed. But you can't do that when you're scared of being fucking sued. Because with that sets a precedent that whoever's in charge, all they got to do is threaten to take you to court. Then you start firing journalists when they say the truth. You start firing editors because they let a story that was the truth go out there, but it embarrassed somebody in power, so we can't do that. That's that bullshit for profit ass media. And one of the other side effects of that, we mentioned this a little bit earlier, is it has allowed people to have alternative media. But motherfuckers, we don't know nothing about their credentials. They started a YouTube channel. They start reading the news and coming up with all kinds of fucking takes. They ain't doing no sort of sourcing of any of the information. They wouldn't know what a follow-up question was if it bit them in the ass. And they get to run around calling themselves journalists now. Because they started a YouTube channel and they managed to figure out the algorithm, and now they got hundreds of thousands of fucking subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're asked to respect that shit. But the reason that happened in the first place is because the motherfuckers that's supposed to be credentialed haven't been doing their fucking jobs. So now it's hard to believe anything anybody say. They did the same thing to their profession that lawyers did to theirs. Got a bad rap. Now jailhouse lawyers seem more credible.
Mm.
You know, jailhouse lawyer, guy that went to jail for a long ass time. He's never probably coming home, so he studied all that law in the libraries there. When they used to let the motherfuckers go to the libraries, I don't think they let them do it no more. But now we calling these motherfuckers journalists. They
Right.
journalists now. And they shameless, because like I said, the death of shame, they're gonna run with it. Well, you know, my journalistic opinion. Nigga! What? And your journalistic opinion? When did you become a journalist, blogger? When did you become a journalist, streamer? When did that happen? Wasn't you just making goofy sound effects and noises while you played video games for 5 hours? You don't get the fuck out my face. So since we're not going to be able to bring internal shame back, because some of you motherfuckers are shameless, I'm for the public shaming for the right reasons.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't think for 1 second, I'm just going to show you some more lies, some more goddamn lies. They say right in front of your face. So Israel went and attacked Iran. First word from the United States government, from Marco Rubio, we ain't got nothing to do with it, y'all. It wasn't us. We don't have nothing to do with it. And then right after that, his boss posts taking all the credit for it. We coordinated with them, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And there's never a price to be paid for that fucking lie. Never. We're in a new day. We're in a new fucking day. That's my week.
Mm.
Oh, I hate it here.
Oh, well.
Guess
Yes.
you already knew that. But
I mean, yeah, bro, that's not.
I thought that needed to be said.
No, that's not really. So where should I even start? Okay. It's been
McKenna, definitely send me all the fiber tips. Yeah. I need that.
It's been a long time since I had a food delivery store. So, for those who haven't been around since then, there was like a year long run where I had about half of my food deliveries have something wrong with them.
Yeah.
It was like a year-long stretch.
I remember that.
That often resulted in free food. But it was still annoying as fuck.
It's annoying.
So yes, I cook. But I've never really been the cook for one person type. Like, most of the time since I started cooking, I was cooking at least for 3 people. And when it was just 3 people, I was making enough to have leftovers too. So I'm not a small cook guy. That's just not I've never been able to do that really. So I often ordered out for dinner when it was just me. And there were so many times when the person that's delivering would not be able to find my apartment for some reason. Sometimes that resulted in me having to come out of my apartment to get them. A lot
I
of the
think it was your
time,
area, yo.
nah, bro.
Where you used to live?
Nah, yo.
Yeah.
Because Marcus ain't had that issue, and Marcus lived right around the corner. But
But
sometimes
look, listen, a block makes a difference. And I've been around your area when I
it
was
wasn't
younger.
even a whole block, nigga.
A couple of listen, I've been around your area when I was younger, nigga. I've been around where you used to live at. Been around there. You know what I'm saying?
No, nigga, I was
blocks
right
in
here.
section
It ain't
is
that. It
crazy.
ain't a few blocks. It's literally around the corner. Like it's not even around. No, see, when I say around the corner, it's not around the corner. Like driving, it's around the
Right.
corner. Walking.
Walking. All right.
The first corner that you get to, if you turn, yeah, like no, it's not even around the corner. Like I understand why that could be confusing to people. My bad. No, when you say around the corner, and that most people when they mean what they mean is it can apply to walking or driving.
Yes.
No, nigga. He didn't live around the corner from me driving. Literally, when I walked out of the building and I turned
and
to
you
my
bent
right,
that first.
the first corner I come to, when I turned, his house was there. So,
yo, keep going. I can hear you. Keep going.
So sometimes that resulted, many times it resulted in me having to, come out of the apartment. And a lot of time it resulted in people just putting my food somewhere else that was not my fucking apartment. Those were the times where I got free food because I would correctly report that they didn't deliver my food to me. But most of the time I would be able to find where the food was. So like literally, and it was two places where they often put my food. One of them was the apartment complex. I mean, not complex, the apartment building across the street from me, but the same apartment number. For some reason, all of the apartment buildings have the address on them on the door in big numbers. So I don't understand how that was a thing. So that happened a lot. And then the other one, which is even worse, was around the corner from me. Again, literally around the corner from me. And it wasn't even the same street. Like, it was a different street. Whatever. The point is, like imagine my address was like 100 Main Street. The other address, the one that's around the corner, was like 4784 Willoughby Drive. And it's like, this clearly isn't the place that you were supposed. Whatever. Anyway, so
I know where Willoughby Drive is.
Those were not the actual addresses. Yeah, those were not actually the addresses. But anyway, so like I said, I would okay. They would send a picture. I'm like, okay, that's not my apartment. So I report that they did not deliver my food, and I would get my money back. And then I would try to decipher from the picture which place that my fucking food was in. And most of the time, I was able to find it. So, even with those experiences, though, even with all of those experiences, like I said, this was going on for like almost a year.
Right.
Even with those experiences, I think I just had the worst delivery person ever the other day.
No way.
So, Chrissy wanted me to make lasagna.
Oh, yeah.
I had actually been thinking about making lasagna.
I saw
for
the
a
picture
while.
too, man.
I mean, I had actually been thinking about making lasagna for a while. So she went to Uber Eats and we picked out the groceries we needed and we ordered them, right? When we do that kind of delivery for groceries, 90, maybe 95% of the time, we go to the same Safeway, the very same Safeway. Most of the time, I get groceries in person. I go to that same. That's hilarious.
That's funny as fuck.
When I go to the grocery store in person, 98% of the time, I go to that same Safeway. So we're familiar with how it runs. We're familiar with the store. They keep their shelves well stocked.
Yeah.
When you order groceries like this, they give you choices for replacements. And unless you choose to refund instead of replace, the shopper will replace your item. Now, I usually pick my specific replacements so that the people don't have to bother me again. I don't want to hear from you until you're here. Right? So they don't have to bother me again, if they have to replace something. But you can just leave it set to replace with the best match. When you do that, if they need to replace anything to you, you'll get a notification to accept the replacement or to pick something else.
Right.
We ordered like 8 or 9 things. Why do we get a replacement notification for like 7 of them?
What?
So I already told you that this Safeway is always well stocked. That's the first issue. Mm-hmm. Like the only time we really ever have problems with them being stocked is like things that have something to do with a holiday. Like if it's Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July, they might not have burgers, hot dogs, hamburger buns, hot dog rolls, charcoal. They might be out of that stuff because clearly
people run on it. Right.
Yeah, but no, outside of that, no, they do not be low on stock. They keep their shit, they keep their shelves stocked. So the first issue is there's no way all these things were out of stock. There's absolutely no way. There's no chance. There's zero chance. There's a 5%.
You don't know
chance.
that.
There's a 5% chance.
Tariffs, bro.
No, nigga. The second issue is there were a couple things that they reported that they couldn't find, but bought them anyway.
Oh, I see what's happening here. The
third issue is a thing or two that they replaced. We didn't get a chance to. We didn't see the notification before the timer ran out because when they tell you to accept it or to pick something else, there's a timer that starts. Right. So we didn't get the notification before the timer ran out. So this one particular thing was the most annoying. Well, not quite. So we ordered Italian sausage for the fucking lasagna. Why the fuck did this person replace it with breakfast sausage? What the fuck ever happened to context clues? 80 to 90% of this order was clearly ingredients for lasagna.
They don't cook.
Nigga, lasagna noodles, ricotta cheese, mixed Italian cheese, garlic bulbs, spinach, tomato sauce. I don't remember exactly what else. But nigga.
They don't cook.
Okay. The fourth issue was what solidified their spot as the absolute worst that I've ever had. Now, if this was a regular market run, I wouldn't be quite as upset about the substitutions. But the order was to make a specific dish. Once they gave us some damn breakfast sausage, I told Chrissy, hey, take that tip.
Yeah.
Because they playing with us. Clearly, they were not putting any effort into getting our shit right. Right? We get our stuff, we put it away. A few days later, I went to make the lasagna. It was great, by the way. It's amazing.
It looked great.
Listen, it is.
I checked my email, but I didn't see damn slides.
It must have went to your spam filter. It had to went to your junk mail. Something like that. I start working on it, and I'm about to get to the point where I'm about to fix up the sauce. I pull the garlic bulbs out, take them out the bag, go cut them in half. I take a second look at the inside of them. Please tell me.
No.
Why they brought me baby onions?
No.
Instead of garlic. They bought me baby onions instead of garlic. I cut into that. Yo, I was so done that I actually took a picture.
I'd have been mad as shit.
I took a picture and I sent it to Chat GPT. I'm like, yo,
listen. This how I know you was mad. Cause I'll be doing the same shit and I gotta talk to somebody.
I knew the answer. I knew it wasn't garlic. Because I cooked. And one of my favorite types of food is Italian food. Well, Italian American food.
Yo, I cannot believe
Nigga,
this nigga gave you.
I cut into it, and it's onions. I took a
Of course.
picture. I sent that shit in the chat. I was like, "What is this?" Mainly because I had never actually used baby onions before, so I was genuinely like, to my eyes, that's an onion. Yeah. But maybe I'm wrong.
You wanted to
Maybe it's not
verify.
onion. I know it's not garlic.
But hold on, the tears didn't give you a clue.
No. I know it wasn't garlic, but I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I upload. I'm like, and it's like, yeah, that's not garlic. It's baby onions. And I'm like, all right, maybe this isn't a great picture. So I took one, stood right under the light, took another picture, sent it, and I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yes, I'm absolutely sure. That is a baby onion."
You should have triple checked it by going to Google Gemini. Had them look at that shit like, I need a third opinion.
Like, bro, what the fuck is happening here?
Yo, I can't believe they gave you potatoes, yo.
You know, listen, this right. And you know the craziest thing about this? There is a meme, but it's not really a meme. It's actually true, where people will like put an order in, and then they'll post the screenshot of the driver accepting it, and they'll be like, "Oh, damn, it's a man," right? Because, and oftentimes, almost every time I've seen this, the motherfucker does like these dumbass replacements. This was not a man.
Oh, listen, listen, bro. We in a new era. There are women that cannot. They don't. They're terrible in the kitchen, bro.
What is
terrible in the kitchen?
Yo, bro. The funny thing about it was we were so pissed off by the time she got here, and she didn't follow the fucking directions. Her directions were leave it at the doorstep. She got here. She rung the doorbell, which that part is fine. I'm not tripping about that part because you just letting us know. Okay, cool. She rung the doorbell, but then she just stood there. So me and Christy was laying in bed, and Christy was like, "Oh my God, why is she just standing there?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" No. He's like, "Babe, can you please?" I said, "No." No, I can't. I said, "I don't think you want me to." No, I don't think it's a good idea.
We'll never get another. We'll never get no order again. Oh, man.
So we both went downstairs, but she got to the door first, and the lady just handed her the stuff. I'm like, all right, cool, all right. But that was that. Wedding wise, not much. We got the invitations, so they'll be going out within a few weeks or so. And there's a bunch of just stuff all over my house right now because
I bet.
Yeah. So, but that's it. No, like at this point, we're really just in the home. I feel like I talked about Shafil last week. I did. So yeah, we're in the home stretch. We're just basically almost in cruise control at this point. It's 4 months away. So
that's where you kind of want to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to be in cruise control.
And for Author Watch, so I'm almost done with the first draft of Act 2. I have one more chapter to write for the act. I've officially surpassed 30,000 words. I'm still in love with the process. I love the story. One of the reasons I have restricted my number of test readers to the low number that it is because of what the process is, what my process is. If we keep it funky, the first draft is a story. The first draft is not a book. It's not. It just simply is not. And I know that, but I don't want to.
I am good. See, being a writer, being a publisher, it is comforting to know that there are still people that know the difference.
Yeah, bro. Nah. This first draft, I'm not even at first draft. Like, I'm not even at the point where it's a first draft, but it's still a part of the first draft.
Right.
This first draft is not a book. It's just a story. It's a story that is leaning towards being a book, but no, it's not. There's several things keeping it from being a book at this point. So, and I'm well aware of that, but I don't want to have to explain that to every single new person who reads this part of it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm keeping it so restrained with how many test readers I have. So also I had a situation where I had to stop writing to let Gigi keep up. So because I told y'all she's instrumental in helping me out with this. She wrote 2 side characters for me. The last chapter that I wrote was where I introduced one of her characters into the story. Now, I think that what I did with that character was a super bold choice. Like nigga. Like, bold enough that it's possible that Gigi is going to hate it. Like, it's possible that she's going to absolutely hate that shit. So even though that character won't be a main character, I still need her to read that chapter before I continue writing. Because I don't want to write the next chapter and then she hates what I did with that character and now I got to go back and do. I don't. No, we're not doing that. I'm just gonna wait for her to see it. Just like whenever I introduce that second character, I'm going to wait for her to catch up to that point before I continue. So now, of course, she has her own life. Y'all heard all the fucking jobs she got.
Yeah, she's Jamaican.
Yeah, nigga. So I knew that that would take a little bit of time for her to finish. So because that is like chapter 12. So I started working on the next part of the building process. I put together a system for detail refinement as it relates to voice consistency. It was glorious. But when I tried to test it out on chapter 1, I couldn't get ChatGPT to give me what I wanted. It kept making up stuff and giving me stuff from different chapters. It took me 2 hours and a couple of settings changes to find out what the problem was.
What was the problem?
The problem was, in all of my excitement of creating this new system, I never gave it chapter 1. Which is what I was... I never gave it chapter 1. But it wasn't just that I messed up. Several times in this process, I asked what was wrong about my instructions because it would give me something that wasn't what. Okay, so I told you to do this. What part is unclear?
Right.
Nothing's unclear. We understand. We made a mistake. Blah, 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 blah. It proceeded to give me the wrong thing again. I'm like, okay, wait. I asked if I was clear. Okay, this is not right. What about my instructions are wrong?
Right.
Nothing's wrong. I fully understand. Let me try it again. Didn't work out. Okay, wait. I want you, again, to just talk about chapter 1. We're just talking about chapter 1.
She didn't give him chapter 1.
Got it. I've found chapter 1 in the project files. I'm done analyzing it, and here is the answer. Still did not give me the right information. Every time, it told me several times that it found it. And eventually I was like, wait, something's wrong. There's no way that it could fall apart like this quickly. This is a new project. It's not even, like, there's no chats in this project, so it's not like reading from a different chat or nothing like that. No, this is a new fucking project. Why?
Right.
I go to the project files. It's not there. I had not given it chapter 1 at all.
Bro, and that's the thing about using these tools, bro. It's like if you start seeing a consistent error, it's probably you what you're giving it. Like, even say if you're one thing about these things is that the hallucination is part of the architecture, right? That's why it can do what it can do. It can be annoying, but that's why I can do what it can do.
Absolutely.
Say you're trying to generate pictures, right? And you want a specific art style. And you come up with the proper prompts to make sure that everything is... You need to make sure that it's not changing the art style prompt by just a few words. Because if it's changed it by just a few words, when you start seeing the art not look consistent to the last thing that you did, like, yo, this is art drift. Why is it drifting? Just ask it what the text prompt was that it put in there. And I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, they change the wording of the art style. And that's just enough for you to get a different art style.
Absolutely. So that happened. I ended up fixing that, and I got the output that I actually was looking for, and it actually assessed the details and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, bet. So this works. Now this is going to be added to the process. Update from when I wrote the notes. Gigi has finished. She is caught up. She sent me a message Thursday night. She wants to talk about it in person. So now I'm completely terrified and have been suffering since she told me about this.
I know what you imagine in your mind. She's about to sit you down and say, listen, bro.
She hates this.
I need you to understand what I'm about to say.
Nigga.
You are a phenomenal IT guy. But you need to leave some of this shit alone because you have drifted into some shit here that's not
nigga. And she was like, yeah, because they're gonna be over here today. So we gonna talk about it later, but I'm like, yo.
Oh, so you haven't got what she wanted to talk to you about?
No.
Oh.
And the crazy thing is I saw her yesterday, but that wasn't the time and place. We went out for Dion's birthday again.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah.
I saw it in the liquor and all. I saw Johnny.
I mean, listen. We heard she just recently started celebrating her birthdays. So she has a declaration that every time we celebrate her birthday, she wants to fall in the bushes.
Oh shit.
That's her, yeah, that's her exact wording too. So yeah, so we picked her up so we make sure she wasn't driving, got her there, got her fucked up. We ate, good laughs, good company, got her home. It was very difficult getting her up to, because she lives on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, and y'all got her stinking drunk.
She was fucked up. And like, nigga, we walked in. So she lives on the 3rd floor. We walked in, and she lives a while. Like, where the parking lot is, it's like 50 yards away from her door. So I got her, walking, she's stumbling back and forth. We get to the door, I put the code in, open the door. We get inside.
Run the doorbell and ran.
No, nigga, that's hilarious. We get inside, and she starts trying to walk down the steps. Ma'am, you live on the 3rd floor. Where are you? So I pull her back. We go up the first flight of steps. When we get to that next flight, she starts walking the random doors. No, ma'am. Come back. Come in. We get up to her flight. She again starts walking the random doors. So yes, that was very interesting.
It's the one thing about me, I have had enough experience as a non-drinker being around drinkers when they get drunk that makes me go, nope, y'all guys go have a good time. I'll meet up with you after your 5th cup of coffee. Because, the shit is, bro, I've literally had to pull a nigga from off of this woman's mutual friend's porch before the police was going to be called because they were out of their mind. Nigga, I remember one of my guys. This was my road dog. Like, I remember he was so fucked up. Another mutual friend, he was with him, called me, yo, you got come help me get Dennis home. And I get down there, and we basically got him, one of his arms on my shoulder, the other arm on the other dude's shoulder, and we got to walk like 3 blocks to get to his house, and we're literally carrying him over there. And it was other niggas on the corner, yo, and they wasn't talking to us. They was doing whatever they was doing, but they was kind of loud with it. And Dennis, being one of them, was like, yo, I know them niggas ain't saying, because I get the tool. And they're like, oh my God.
Yo, not helpful. Not helpful.
Not helpful at all. Not helpful at all, B.
What them niggas that be having the dogs and the dog that's not on a leash approach? Oh, not friendly.
Right.
Not friendly.
Yo, we
Not friendly. Call your
got to
dog.
his house. Yo, that's the other thing. Because he ain't, when he's sober, if he think he hears something
Right.
that wasn't supposed to be, he could be dead ass wrong, but he on that. So drunk, he has no discernment. And it's literally, the niggas was loud, so they must be talking about us. No, that's not how that works. That's not how any of that works.
That's not how any of that works.
And even if you could get to the tool, what you gonna hit? We can barely get you up the fucking. Yo, sit down, yo. Go sit down. Go sit down. Oh my goodness.
Hilarious. So yeah, that was that. But also with me having to wait before I wrote another chapter, I was like, well shit, let me go ahead. I told y'all I already know what the next book is gonna be about. So I went ahead and started structuring and figuring out that outline. Right. And I put together yet another system for adapting story to novel. And nigga, that shit is decent. Like,
yo, I don't know if you tried this yet, but a mixture of like when you're first in the concept phase of a book or whatever you try to do, figure out the stuff that you want this story to represent, what you want it to be, and then do deep research.
No, that's how I've developed the system. Yo, to the point where deep research hate to see me coming, nigga. I have been shelved until July the 2nd. Like,
damn.
Yeah, that's how many times I've used that shit recently. They was like, yo, listen,
you're gonna have to go to Gemini. They got deep research. It's dope.
Word. It was like, yo, listen,
you're doing too much.
I appreciate you using this shit, but I'm
it's
gonna give you a light version of this.
It's overpowered, bro. Yeah, it's overpowered because just trying to make sure that you hit all the markers for this type of story.
Yeah,
and using examples in fiction of other types of stories like this and the tropes and stuff that they use. Yo, when what they give you back is the craziest,
invaluable.
Woo!
Yo, the shit I had originally was good. This shit, I was like, yo, because what I did was I gave it the old framework I had from adopting a story into a novel, and I'm like, all right, here's what I have. Read through it. Let me know what is valid. Let me know what needs some work. Now, also keep in mind that this is a story for African American, millennial, blah blah this, blah blah that, contemporary, modern, comedy, drama, blah blah blah. Go get the research. It asked me a clarifying question that I don't remember off the top of my head. I was like,
usually ask me
this, blah blah blah, boom boom, go. Say, all right, I'll be back in a couple minutes. All right, bet. Came back and it was like, boom. I'm like,
oh my good, yo, it is insane the amount of information you get back,
nigga,
and how helpful it is for what you're trying to do.
I hinted at it earlier. That's exactly what I did to get the Wale stuff. That wasn't an article, nigga. That was deep research.
Yo, that's incredible.
It gave me 27 sources, nigga.
Yeah, that's incredible, bro. That I really don't think people understand just how incredible that actually is. Yeah. That shit is overpowered, D. Overpowered.
Yeah, that's my shit. For whatever I can. Matter of fact, let's see what else I used it for, because I'm using it for whatever I could think to use it for.
So I created another race for the galaxy that Gray and Malik come from, and I put it all together. Now I actually had the beginnings of this a while ago, but I never fleshed it out. And we were talking the other day we wanted between 11 and 12 races on the council, right? Centauri Council and shit. So I'm doing my due diligence, and I flesh it out. So, I want something that's kind of an insectoid / humanoid type creature, right? So I put all my thoughts down and this, that, and the third, and I looked at it. I was like, this is cool, but it's certain boxes I want this to actually check, and I need it to be creepy. Like, I need them to be kind of creepy and weird. You know what I'm saying? So I took all of my ideas and I put in deep research. I said, I need you to go through every work of fiction you can find and pull tropes, so that I know which boxes I need to hit to really make this nigga.
Yeah.
It came back 37 sources. Just this exhaustive thing for me to go through a checklist and go, oh, all right.
Right.
Oh, all right. Oh my goodness. And now the new draft of it, crazy.
Of course.
These aliens are crazy.
So another thing that I used it for was this is going to go over everybody's fucking head, but it's fine. Because it's not important that y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. It's important that y'all understand the process that happened. So my phone was rooted. Rooted is a whole thing that I'm not about to explain. I'm simply not going to. Just understand that it is a thing. It basically is something that gives you more control over your phone. But there are a bunch of pros and cons that go along with that you have to be aware of, unless you want some type of damage, whether to your actual phone or to your identity. There's a bunch of things that can go wrong if you don't know what you're doing, right?
I'm not listening.
I've been into
I don't know what I'm doing.
I've been into this shit since for 20 years. Like I have experience, but things change, right? So there was a certain period of time where the phones that I had, they weren't able to be rooted. So I just wasn't. It's not I can do it. You can't root it. Can't root it. Once I got this phone, I was like, oh, this is a Google phone. Google phones don't have that restriction. I'm gonna go ahead and root my shit. So much changed from the time that I was rooting every single phone that I had. Like generally, no, I ain't break nothing. So from the time period, once I got familiar with what root is, I would root my phone as soon as I got it. Like literally, because what they want you to do is that you'll take the phone in nowadays. You'll take the phone in, they want to transfer all your... No. What I used to do was I always bought my phone online so that it would come to me. I wouldn't be in the store. It would come to me. I would turn it on. First thing I'm doing is I'm rooting it. Then I'm transferring all my information over, because when you root, it wipes the phone, basically. Again,
I'm not doing it.
These aren't extensive. This is not exhaustive. I'm not about to explain shit, because that's not the point of the story.
Not doing it. Listen.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. No, I don't recommend it. So after all that time of not rooting my phone, I rooted this one, and I realized that some of the benefits that I used to enjoy aren't there anymore. Yeah, it's not the same thing as it used to be because of so many different factors.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, but there are a few benefits that I'm still reaping.
Reaping?
I mean, all right. So then trouble started. So what happened is there are certain apps that if they detect that you're rooted, they don't work. So in the early days, not the early days, but my most recent time before I stopped doing it, that was still a thing then. It's just that there were surefire ways to work around it. There were guaranteed ways to hide your root access so that these apps would not be able to detect it. Now there are different things that different apps do to try to detect it. So it's almost impossible to have a foolproof hiding. So there's always going to be, it's possible, I guess, to figure out a way. I'm not as involved in it. I'm not the tinkerer that I once was. Right. So I don't have the patience to do all that shit. So I made it so that it was hidden from most of the apps,
Mhm.
and then anything else I just couldn't use. It's just I just settled it on that. But it got to a point where it would be an app here, an app there that would still be able to detect that it was rooted. And I'm like, dang, I would really like to use this app. So
Right.
I started the process of trying to figure out how to unroot my phone, particularly without wiping all my data. Everything that I was finding, I was not comfortable trying to do. And this has been going on for like 4 months or so. Every now and then I would see a new app that could detect my root, and I'd be like, all right, let me see how I can unroot this shit. And no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That is doable, but I don't feel like dealing with all that right now.
Yeah.
Nigga, after I started using deep research, it came to my, because there was some app or something that I went to use, and it was like, the security of this phone has been compromised. I'm like, oh shit. Wait. Throw that shit let me throw that shit in deep research, my guy. Nigga. Threw that shit in deep research. Told it the specific phone model that I have. Told it what method I use to root. Told it what I wanted to accomplish from this. And it was like, I'll be back in a minute, my guy. Came back. Step 1. Do this. This may completely unroot your phone, and you may not need the further steps. And if after you complete this, do a check to see if you still have root. If you do, you could do this next step. Next step. Blah, blah. Did the first thing. Done. No issue. My phone is unrooted, and I can use all my fucking apps now. Wow. Just amazing. Just amazing. Listen. You can't beat it.
You can't. And again, this is what I've said before about using these tools to accompany your creativity. Your already innate creativity, right? You use these tools to help you with that. And it's like Iron Man. Tony Stark is really the shit outside the armor as well.
Thanks.
But when he got that armor on, it's like, oh, he's boosting all your stats.
Right.
Yeah, like that shit is amazing, yo. Absolutely. That shit's amazing. If you know how to use it, and that's a big if, because a lot of y'all don't, and I can tell. Yeah. I can tell y'all know how to use it. But if you know how to use it, and you use it often enough, there's certain tells about what it tends to lean to.
Yeah.
Tends to go here, tends to go there. You compensate for that, right? Compensate for that, because that's the part of this that's not 100% there yet. It is just not. So you compensate. And what you find?
Two things. One, factory reset on its own does not erase root, because root is, for lack of a better term, deeply rooted in the file system and all that other BS. But 2, and more importantly, I was trying to avoid factory resetting my phone, because I don't enjoy the act of restoring my data to what the fuck I want it to be. Because, like, prime example, there's shit that I might not have used for 3 months. But in the event that I ever go and use it, I know it has all the shit set up the way that I want it set up and all that.
Right.
With trying to, like, if I were to buy a new phone today, that might not be the case. I might completely forget about that goddamn app. And then 4 or 5 months down the line, I want to use it, and it don't got none of my shit set up. So yeah, no, I hate the process of restoring data to a phone or restoring it to a new phone. I hate that fucking process so much. I was trying to avoid that at all costs, because most of that. Remember, I said, okay, I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm not comfortable doing that. I can do that. I don't want to deal with that. That was I can do that. That process required, that process involved factory resetting. It was more than that as well, because again, factory reset by itself doesn't fix root. But yeah, so No, that wasn't an option. That wasn't an option. Absolutely not an option. But yeah, that's it. That's it.
It's so much to this. I'm thinking at some point I'm probably gonna make a tutorial on how to accurately use some of these tools, because I notice there's people that don't know. They think it's one thing when it's not, right?
They don't know, don't show.
Don't show,
plain don't care. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we want to thank all of you once again for joining us for another rousing edition of the Black Culture Geeks podcast. Always remember, there is always music.
Always.
There is music from the past. There's present music, and there's music coming in the future.
Facts.
From SBJ, from myself, GA, from Braden,
from Addie.
There's always music. So the music that's there now, go play that shit. Run that shit up.
Run that shit up. That's it.
Because as much as I hate the streaming services, this is all we got right now.
That's all we got.
Right? That's all we got. You know what I'm saying? Also, don't forget my sister, his significant other, Chrissy, podcast, Heard It Through the Grapevine. Make sure you go and check that shit out. Get them some views. It's funny. It's worth your time. It's informative at times. It's nasty sometimes, which my ear's too young for all that. So I don't really listen to episodes that much. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. Remember, Gray still does his office hours stream. Go check that out as well. Soon and very soon, we're still doing some paperwork and all this other shit. There'll be another Kickstarter for the book Singularity, written by Emmy Award-winning Christopher Colburn. We're very excited to have him as part of what we're doing in Majestic. So, don't forget Metas and Mutants, the Super Side Guy, and Hendrick. Once again, I see Hendrick is enjoying life as a new kid and shit. That's dope. It's very fire.
Facts.
Copped him a cool little Thor shirt. Yeah, it's dope, right? But anyway, for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.